better. Oh, this is quite loud.
Bears fans, this is your 60-second countdown.
Have some of that.
Oh, went left, then went right.
Launched into the gap.
A chance and taken. Down the ground again.
Gone. Straight down the ground and big enough.
And it has been dispatched.
That'll be 4 more.
Nick and taken.
4 more. Oh, yes.
Up and over the top. Oh, that's been smoked. Really has been picked up magnificently.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello everybody and welcome to Bears TV for the very first time in 2026 for the T20 Blast. We're so excited to get going here at EdgBLASTon. We're going to call it that throughout this competition, I'm afraid. We're going to have to. And today we've got a double header of games. First, the women up against Somerset, and then the men also up against Somerset. It's going to be great fun. It's great weather, a lovely atmosphere slowly building here at EdgBLASTon, and we've got a great team to bring it all to you as well. And I'm going to bring them all to you. My name is Nawaz. I'll be your host today, and alongside me are some really just devastatingly beautiful and handsome people.
Where?
I don't know. Over there, maybe. Over there, maybe. No,
out the back.
Just the other side, out of frame. No, of course not. Very pleased to have Melinda Farrell alongside. How are you, Melinda?
I'm happy I've finally been able to turn my heating off this
well
week.
done. Okay.
Only
It's
this
good timing.
week? Wow.
Just this week.
Okay.
Yeah.
In time for the heat wave. Well done. We've also got the voice of Bears TV. I like to think of him, Adam Bridge. How are you?
I'm very good. How are you?
No,
It's nice to be back, isn't it?
Absolutely. Listen, guys, we also have an award winner amongst us right
yes.
now. Okay,
Do we?
ladies and gentlemen, joining us again, very pleased to say, back this season is the ECB Domestic Broadcaster of the Year, award-winning Aaron Viles, the Badger in the Den. How are you, Aaron?
Very good, Artif. Even better after that lovely introduction. It's great to be back, isn't it? T20 cricket here at EdgBLASTon. I'll call it that as well throughout the summer. No greater feeling. It feels like Christmas all over again.
It does. Christmas with a heat wave. Who would have thought it? It's been great fun already. The Blast has already started. Not great results to start with for the Bears. Not the women and the men both losing on Friday. But it's a new day. It's the first time on Bears TV, so we're hoping that'll bring in a bit of charm, a bit of luck. We're wearing some of the merch as well, by the way. You can pick this up on the Warwickshire website, so check that out.
This.
Not. I don't know if you could buy that on the Warwickshire website.
No.
But it's very stylish all the same.
This
right.
isn't.
Adam, I mean, not the ideal start. Let's talk about the women first, because they're going to be in action first. And it started so well as well with, the batting with Abby Freeborn, which is batting really well. But things just sort of fell away a little bit.
They did. I mean, look, you have to think when you're missing Davina Perrin, of course. Caris Pavley played, but obviously is flitting between. He's not available today. Flitting between England. When you get success, unfortunately, you're going to lose players. I mean, that's part of the reality of it. When they do well and they're performing, as Caris has been. I mean, she's going to be missed today. She's been magnificent. Also, I think she's the leading run scorer. I'm sure Aaron will testify to that so far in women's cricket this year. So the more success they have, the more they're going to suffer. Obviously, no Izzy as well. So it's going to be a challenge for them. But you're right. They started really well. They batted really well. There was just something lacking a little bit, I think, in the field. And Essex actually played really well. I thought they chased down brilliantly.
They did, Melinda. I mean, just thinking about the way, Warwickshire out there, the Bears with the ball. I mean, it felt like they were trying everything, because they had, I think they tried 8 bowlers in the end? Aaron, 7 bowlers in the end. And, just nobody really settled. Nobody bowled more than 2 or 3 overs. People were really getting carted about. It's got to be tough to come back from that and put in a performance against Somerset today.
But it's at home, isn't it? It's reinvigorated. The whole city has been on a high since Aston Villa had that victory. Maybe everybody had a little bit of a hangover for the first round of games, and that's why both the Bears teams weren't at their best. I bet you Chris Wokes was watching that with relish too.
It's funny enough, when they reached the final, I did message him and said, now look, you don't play till the Friday. You can get back from Istanbul on the Thursday. So the reply I got was, the gaffer won't have that.
But I pick up on your point, because we've been talking about this a lot this week. This is a fascinating women's blast this year because of the World Cup. You've also got the England A games as well. So you've got a lot of players who are not just in the England side, but kind of in that cohort just below who might not be available at certain times. And that is every team. You look at some teams where they also have, like, for example, the Blaze, where they've got 3 Scotland players and an Ireland player as well as their England players. So what that says to me, though, is that this season represents a real opportunity to test the depth of women's cricket in this country. We saw quite a few players last year go from being loaned out from Tier 1 to Tier 2 sides, and I wonder if we might see the opposite flow happen this year, where if you're in Tier 2 and you're having an absolute blinder, well, you might actually get pulled up by a Tier 1 side on loan. So, and then the players all just further down. Look at it as an opportunity, because that's what this is, I think, this season for all teams.
Well, the Bears benefited from that last year, didn't they, with Stair Callis, who, again, you look at players that aren't playing in the side that got to the finals last year, and obviously the runs that Davina scored during the competition as well, Stair Callis being, and obviously Laura Harris, who's down at Surrey now. So yes, we've got Georgia Redmayne in, but we're missing some of the glue that really held this side together last year, and they're going to take a bit of time probably to find their way in and find their rhythm, which was what I thought was the case on Friday.
Well, it is quite a long competition as well, so you do have time to recover from a couple of losses if you do take them. I mean, hopefully they'll win today from a Bears perspective. And by the way, thank you to everybody who's joining us on the stream right now. Let us know in the comments where you're watching from. To all the Aston Villa fans out there, congratulations. Even if you're an Arsenal fan, why wouldn't you be here in Birmingham?
Well, that didn't take long for you to throw that in.
I'm just congratulating everybody who won stuff.
Oh, okay.
That's fine. And
I can tell you,
Hull fans.
What about Hull yesterday?
Yeah, Hull fans.
This city, as a true local, because I live less than 3 miles from here, and I've been in the city in the past few days, and I've been walking around, and everybody's in such a good mood.
Yeah.
It's absolutely brilliant.
Well, it's lovely. Look, the blast is back. The weather is lovely. Maybe a bit hot, uncomfortable at night, but in the daytime the weather is lovely.
Oh, please.
And I don't have fancy.
You're talking to an
stuff.
Australian.
Oh yeah,
here.
sorry.
She's
Yeah,
like, nothing's uncomfortable.
Fair enough. Listen, the toss is going to take place shortly, I think. But just before that happens, I wanted to check in with Aaron. Aaron, who should we be looking forward to seeing today? Give us a couple of Bears players who you think are going to put in some big performances today. Your predictions.
Well, for me, first and foremost, Artif, I'm going with Millie Taylor, who last season was the leading wicket taker in the entire competition, took 22 wickets over the course of the campaign. So I back the left-arm wrist spinner to have a big game here today. And of course, we've already spoken about opportunities for those overseas players. Georgia Redmayne towards the top of the order. She is the 9th all-time leading run scorer in women's Big Bash history. Expect to see plenty of runs from the Australian today.
That's a really big get as well, Georgia Redmayne. It feels like, someone with that experience, gravitas, and also just that ability to just hit a big. I mean, it's such a cliche to say it, but hit a big ball. She's the kind of player that can clear the boundary comfortably, do it regularly, and just give you that impetus, like Harris did last year, as you were saying as well, Adam. I mean, for the Australian players are always held in high regard, but there's something a tier above in women's cricket. Why is that, Melinda?
It's just the depth of the competition. I mean, this is a new competition in the Blast. Before that, we did have the various, you had Charlotte Edwards Cup, and we've had the Kia Super League. But the Women's Big Bash has been going a long time. It's been going
WBBL,
10 years.
Yeah.
So they've been able to develop that depth that I was talking about over a long period of time. High intensity tournament. So many players now. It's a new pathway to the Australian side, putting pressure on the Australians. It's been one of the key reasons that the Australian women's team has been so good over the past decade. And that's why I sort of look at what's happening here now and think, well, this is really exciting. Something that's happened every time a women's tournament has started like this, whether it was the Big Bash, Kia Super League, even with the women's with the WPL in the women's version of the IPL in India. Everyone's always worried about the depth when these tournaments are starting up, and they're a bit nervous about broadcasting. What if the skill level's not there? I've seen that personally and spoken to people. Every single time the players have stood up and the standard has risen so quickly. And so now with this, with the different tiers, I see that happening here as well.
It's so valuable for English players as well. I mean, we were talking about Davina Perrin a little bit earlier, or before we began the program. But I mean, just having someone like a Georgia Redmayne in the squad and having that experience to lean on. This is again like it feels like, I know she had an amazing year last year, Davina Perrin, but you know she's still in that sort of aspirational phase of her career. That you couldn't think of a better sort of role model, somebody to have with you in that dressing room as you're continuing your development journey.
Oh, it's going to be one of those for Warwickshire as well, isn't it? Because they'll want to keep Davina as long as they can, but they know the better she gets. I mean, we know she's on England's radar already. She went away in the winter, of course. They will lose her quite swiftly to England time and time again. She will grow. I think she benefited last year from Laura Harris as well. I think Laura taught her a lot. It felt like they was almost feeling their way last year, and actually had a phenomenal year off the back of actually the start. I think we all looked and went, what kind of team are we going to get here? How successful are they going to be? And actually, I wouldn't say they surprised us all, but I think they performed so well to get to finals day, to get to the final was just absolutely phenomenal. Maybe the One Day Cup hasn't started quite as they wanted to this time round. There's been some interesting choices. I've been surprised not to see Millie Taylor playing in the One Day Cup. I thought, what we saw of her in the Blast last year, it's good of Aaron to pick her out. I thought she was phenomenal. I think she learnt a lot from Jake Lintott as well. He was mentoring her, and you could see how she was growing throughout the competition. So I'm quite keen to see her again this time. It's going to be a growing phase. You talk about the depth in Australia. That's come from them being 5 years ahead of probably the game that we are here, and we're playing catch up. But I think we've got the opportunity to catch up quite quickly, haven't we?
Well, we do, and one of the interesting things that's happened here is with these double headers. I mean, they've stopped doing that in Australia. They run the competitions separately, and it's for well-intentioned reasons, because they say, well, the women's game can stand on itself. But when I see people lined up outside already for this game, and I know that even when it comes to the 100, there'll be so many people at those games. I actually kind of think it works really well here, having the double headers. I think it's opening it up to new people and inspiring a lot more young girls to play as well. So I like it.
Yeah, we love it, and I think it's going to be a great season, especially with the T20 Blast. You get a bigger crowd as well, so more attention, more hyper focus on the games. Nice turnout as well from the opposition here as well today. We've had people turning up from Sussex, making the trip all the way up as well. Aaron, tell us, who should we be looking out for in this Sussex lineup?
Well, it's Somerset.
Sorry.
That we're playing today, Artie.
Sorry.
That, but
I got distracted. Okay, fine. I'm looking forward to that Sussex game. Yeah.
Me too.
It's great fun.
But
They've got a great merch store.
With regards to Somerset today, I think for me, first and foremost, keeping in line with that conversation about the Aussies, 24-year-old Annika Leroyd started the competition exceptionally well with an unbeaten 61. And in terms of the bowling, there were a couple who I could have chosen, I should say. Neve Holland took 4 for 21, a career best against Hampshire in that tie at the Cooper Associates County Ground. But for me, the real interesting one today is Erin Vukusic, 20 years of age. She's a Croatian international, very, very talented seam bowler. So watch out for her today with regards to the Somerset perspective.
There we go. Croatian international. That was a word I didn't think I'd be hearing for at least another month and a half.
I thought Sussex was one I was going to hear for about a month and a half either, to be fair. But
listen, I like it's the weather. It's making me think of the seaside. I'm missing my buddy Richard down there.
Who wants to be in the seaside when you've got glorious Birmingham?
Correct.
I mean, come on, more canals than Venice.
It's very true. It's going to look great. Listen, there's a little bit of construction work happening here as well, so be careful if you're headed to the ground. But if you're headed to the ground, make sure you go. So there's Chloe Brewer. It's great to see her back in the side as well. She's a favourite of ours here on Bears TV. But also, if you're at the ground, make sure you go say hi to Carmen Bear and to Hugh Bear. They'll both be floating around. Always lovely to see them about. I saw them in a lift. Did I tell you I was trapped in a lift with the two bears last year?
You did, yeah.
Yeah, that was quite something.
Has that made it onto your comedy tour, that story?
Well, not quite yet.
Oh,
got to find the right punchline. But in any case, we're nearly ready for action. You can see the Bears batters in their new kits about to make their way out to the middle. We're anticipating a pretty good crowd here, actually. It'll build as the day goes on. Remember, the first half of a doubleheader here on Bears TV. We're going to have the men's game later on. Same fixture with the Bears taking on Somerset. not Sussex, not yet. Anyway, Somerset, and people are going to enjoy themselves. So you come to the ground, make sure you put your sunscreen on. It's going to be very, very hot today, and we're going to have a good. Have you guys got your sunscreen on?
Yes, I always do. I'm Australian. I put it on every morning.
There we go.
Well, to be honest, no, I knew I was going to be in air conditioning, so I didn't think I'd bother today.
I know Aaron's got his sunscreen on.
I have indeed, yeah. I came prepared.
Yeah, he did. Either side of Aaron, by the way, you can see some hats. They're both, again, you can get this stuff on the Bears store online, on the Warwickshire store. Look it up. They've got some really, really lovely looking merch as well this season and stuff, so it'll be great fun to pick up. And tickets are still around as well, so if you feel like heading over to the ground and watching, by all means do so. But thank you for joining us here on Bears TV. We hope you enjoy our coverage. We're going to be bringing you all the matches, the home games, all but one home game this season, I believe, on the stream. But make sure you subscribe if you haven't already done so, and we're gonna have a great time. I joined the live stream on Friday to watch the men's game against Gloucestershire, and I got quite chatty in the chats.
Oh,
have you ever done
You're
that?
very good at getting chatty
I know.
sometimes.
Well, I'm good at getting chatty when things are going well. I was very busy in the first innings, I'll put it that way. I might have disappeared in the second innings. Anyway, the umpires are making their way out. The action will begin very, very soon. And I'm going to make way now. So to take you through the first phase of commentary, it's going to be Adam Bridge and Melinda Farrell.
Thank you very much, Artif. Our two umpires then, Hollingshead and Peverell, on their way to the middle. I mean, I was feeling for the players then as I was looking and thinking, in this kind of heat, in that helmet, the poor umpires have got to stand out there for 40 overs roasting as well. I hope they've got that sunscreen on.
You'd think it was like 35 or 40 degrees. Come on. It's like, what is it right now? Is it about 20, 24
Well, it's
maybe?
going to go up to 30 this afternoon, isn't it? Which is, that's tropical and exotic for us, remember, Mel?
Harden up, sunshine. Come on. This is what we want. This is what we want. Sunshine, players running out, glorious day, and Birmingham looking its best.
So there's a change, obviously, for the Bears today with the introduction of Amu Sukumar, who didn't play on Friday, but he is into the starting side, which I think is a positive. I think she performed incredibly, and obviously she offers a lot with the bat as well as the ball.
Yeah, I actually watched her in a one-day game up at Trent Bridge and was really impressed. So I'm looking forward to seeing this young lady, to Abby Freeborn, as Aaron, our award-winning broadcaster, has pointed out. She's coming off a pretty good run of form, best for her. She hit the ball a long way. Oh my goodness, it's a bit smoky out there. Call the forest fire, it's summer.
No, someone she's little Barbie. That's all it is.
That's what it is.
Yeah, just making you feel at home. Well, you are at home, aren't you? That's the point.
Oh, I love it. Right, they'll be smarting though, Warwickshire, and I think pretty determined to get themselves off to, or their season off and running.
Yeah, I think
that loss.
Whenever they had a tough performance last season, they tended to respond very well. They were very consistent though throughout the campaign last time round. I think that they went into Friday's game full of optimism, but first match of the season for both, obviously the men and the women on Friday, both ended in defeats. I think we all thought once they bowled Gloucester out very cheaply that it was going to be a good day down in Bristol, but I don't think the batting performance was quite where we'd want it to be. Hopefully we'll see better today from both sides. It's the women who are going to get us underway, and Meg Austin is on strike straight away, and it's a wide to begin with, so not the best of starts from Aaron's pick. Then just remind us a little bit about the opening bowler here for Somerset.
So, Erin Vukusic, she's 20 years of age, product of Exeter Cricket Club, and we'll tell you more after this delivery.
Yeah, she's coming in from the Birmingham end, and nice shot from Meg Austin. She'll get nothing for it.
Well, she wanted to take off for a run there, but Abby Freeborn had turned her back on her and was just strolling back to her crease. So I just take a few balls to get rid of the nerves. Any that might be around, I'm sure they're very conscious that it's a first game at home, big crowd expected, sunny day.
Vukusic again. Let's pitch that one up a little more, and it's a lovely shot from Meg Austin. And that's going to reach the ropes for four in front of the building work taking place here at EdgBLASTon, of course. And the first boundary of this home game off and running for Meg Austin. We saw her perform at times last season in an opening partnership with Davina Perrin. She was excellent, and it's good to get her off and running today.
Certainly is. It wasn't just full, it was quite a floaty, loopy delivery as well. So she had plenty of time to line it up and just put it away nicely. You can see there the swing.
It's well run. One more to the total. So tell us about this this Croatian then.
Yeah, so she's represented Croatia in 4 T20Is, actually opened the batting on her debut, scored 85 not out against the Czech Republic. Since then has very much focused more on her bowling, and we're already seeing it here. Her major strength is in swing. She's looking to tail it back in to the right-handers, so watch out for that particular delivery. Also something else which Somerset could do throughout the game is put the keeper up to the stumps. I imagine we'll see that, maybe with Vukusic, definitely with the bowling of Niamh Holland.
Freeborn's turned that one round the corner, and that's going to go all the way to the ropes before it does. Another boundary. Abby Freeborn off and running with her first ball as well, and Freeborn, as we said, in fine form on Friday. She's looking to continue that today.
Yeah, and I think Vukusic as well. Just it's the issue with in-swing bowlers, isn't it? To the right-hander is just early on. If you get your starting line wrong, then it just becomes a bit of an easy job to put away. And on that occasion, it's just too far down the leg side.
That's a lovely shot. Really nicely put away by Abby Freeborn again. Really reached for it and off the middle of the bat.
Overcompensation from the bowler. This time went too wide outside off stump, but seen all the way by Freeborn. Really nice timing on that one.
It was. Very nice drive. I think the score's 14 without loss.
Terrific start.
Yeah,
yeah, we don't have they put that last one up? They've just got one boundary from Freeborn on the
they're one boundary
scoreboard.
Short. It's the teething troubles of the opening day, as ever. There's a wide ball there. Teething troubles here for Vukusic, who's pulled a second wide. I think she's been knocked off her line a little bit here, hasn't she?
She has a bit, and she's basically going one side and then the other, and just overcompensating each time. Just needs to just try and settle in.
Is that what Mitchell Johnson used to do? I don't know if we get to those jokes already. Well, that's full again, and turned around the corner once more. This time, though, it won't reach the boundary ropes, but they will come back for a second. There was a little hesitation there after the first, but between them they decided, yes, let's do it, and score moves on to 17. And that's the end of the first over. Terrific first over for the Bears.
Fantastic start for them. You couldn't have asked for any more, really. They really took to Vukusic, who just got her lines wrong. Might settle down in the next over, but these two won't worry about that. They'll say, please, yes, bring some more of that on. We'll take it.
Yeah, it's a really nice start, and we're going to see second over bowled, of course, from the pavilion end. And it looks like it's going to be, as I look to read the back of the shirt, but they've turned the wrong way round. We'll rely on Aaron for this one.
I think it's Chloe Skelton, just from my vantage point here.
Yeah, you do have a slightly better angle, so Skelton is going to bowl. Yep, number 20 on the shirt from this pavilion end. And it's going to be Meg Austin, who's on strike at the start of this second over. It's a lovely shot. It's well fielded as well, actually. It's an excellent piece of fielding just down in front of us here by Niamh Holland. I'll just get one. A nice shot from Meg Austin.
That'll feel good for Meg Austin. She's coming off a duck. So just to get the scoring underway, and it was a very nice looking shot. Took a fantastic piece of fielding to prevent more runs.
First chance for Abby to take mark, which she's doing. Skelton. Again, it's full. Driven, but not getting past the fielder.
Love the flight that Skelton's getting early. She's really tossing that ball up above the batter's eye line. Love seeing aggressive spinners.
Neath Holland just stretching her right shoulder after she made that stop. Sweep from Freeborn. Doesn't get much of it, but gets enough just to get it over the head of Jones behind the stumps, and one more to the total.
You see Skelton's variations there straight up. She goes from a big loopy full delivery to darting one in, just perhaps going a little bit too leg side. As we've got some running repairs on her shoelace. Just getting a bit of turn there.
There's been a bit of trouble if that throw had been slightly more on target, but they got back for 2. 21 without loss. Decent start to the over here from Skelton. I wouldn't want to be running too much today, I'm going to be honest. That's in the air, and it's going to beat the fielder. And it will reach the boundary ropes as well. It's a lovely shot from Meg Austin. 4 more to the total. This really is a good start from the Bears.
Fantastic. And well, I mentioned that Austin's coming off a duck, and just to have the confidence to be able to clear the field. Actually, that mid-on was up quite close as well, just giving her that extra room in the outfield. Just plugged it in the gap.
Yeah, she waited for the turn, did she? Hit with the spin. And there is a little bit of turn there straight away.
Yeah, she's got some first over. This is what I love, an attacking spinner in the power play. Change of angle.
And it worked. End of the over. 8 from it in the end. So after 2 overs, it's 25 without loss. Well, shoelace repairs for Abby Freeborn, as you said. They need to continue. I think we're going to see a change of bowling at the far end as well.
I always think it's very trusting of batters when they actually get the opposition to do it for them. So you'd be tempted to time together, wouldn't you?
You would. The temptation, that's just the devil in us, I think, probably.
Maybe I'm just a really bad person.
So we're going to see Griffiths coming on from the Birmingham end. What can you tell us, Aaron?
Yeah, quite a bit about Alex Griffiths, of course, formerly of the Western Storm. Used to play for the Welsh national counties as well. Can give you some more in-depth stats after the first delivery, but I think that probably is the right decision, just not to put Vukusic under a little bit too much pressure early doors.
On the mark straight away.
Yeah, they just needed a bit of control. And that's what they need from Griffiths right now. Someone to just rein them in a little bit, because they have absolutely jumped out of the gates, this Bears opening partnership.
Freeborn on strike at the moment. She's on 11. It's a lovely shot. It's full toss, but beautifully dealt with through the covers for 4. Be Freeborn seeing it beautifully right now.
Well, the first ball was on the money. The second ball was expensive. You can't give those deliveries to that woman there. You just can't. She'll gobble them up all day gratefully. So the Somerset bowlers just struggling a bit in these early overs.
I think I might be giving the front row of the Hollies a miss today, where the flamethrowers are right in front of those. It's going to be a quick single here, which they take. I mean, not only obviously in the front row of the Hollies are you right in the sun, but the flamethrowers going off with every boundary, and there's been quite a few so far. It's going to be quite a warm one.
Oh, see, I'm loving all of this because I've had visitors from Australia, and they were here for a few weeks. And they were struggling. So I've been able to, in the past week, say, look, it's not always like that.
No, it's not.
The sun comes out, it's warm.
And the timing for the start of the blast is absolutely perfect. There's no run there. The full toss. I think they'll feel they missed out on that one.
Yeah, it's seeing it. You know how you see your city in new eyes when you have visitors? So I've been loving it. All around Birmingham. We've been around the jewellery quarter, the city centre, all over. I'll have to get them down here as well.
It's a great shot. Lovely pick up by Austin. All the way to the ropes for 4. Meg looks in terrific nick today.
Yeah, keen to make up for having got out so early the previous game. Oh yeah, she timed that really well.
Looks like a good wicket, doesn't it, to be fair?
Yeah, it does. Looks a belter, actually. Just let our viewers know, we just have a little bit of... The gremlins have been out as well, so we've just got a little issue. We'll keep letting you know what's happening.
We'll have Meg Cam in the meantime.
Yeah.
They were going for a quick single then, but they've turned that one back, and there'll be no run to end the over. 34 off 3, both of them on 16, both looking in terrific nick right now.
Yeah, they just couldn't have asked for anything better. The two, and they've got a pretty good understanding as well, I think. The problem is you've got Freeborn who can just clear the rope, she can hit it anywhere, and then you've got Austin at the other end who looks like she's really timing it well today.
Has Meg finished, I don't know this because he's always, has Meg finished all of her uni courses now?
I believe so. It's funny, actually. I was doing some work for Northamptonshire. She came on loan for one game in the One Day Cup. Immediately made an impact, scored a century against Kent. So I know she struggled the other day against Essex, but with regards to recent One Day Cup form, we all know the talent, the calibre that Meg possesses.
Looks like parity's been restored with the cameras, and here we go. It's Freeborn on strike, and it's Barnes, I think, coming into the attack. With a left arm spin. Oh, that's up in the air, and Abby Freeborn is gone. And Barnes strikes first ball. Well, there was plenty of flight in that. Abby Freeborn's eyes lit up, but she just didn't get a hold of it at all.
No, just skewed off the edge of the bat, and in the end it was a very, very simple catch in the covers. Look, there you go. Just a little a replay of the catch given as well. But flying start, it's always a danger, isn't it? Go aggressive, and then you might see an early wicket or two. But she has got the Bears off to an excellent start.
She has 34 for 1 then, and it means we get our first look on home soil anyway of Georgia Redmayne. Disconsolate Abby as she walks off, but she's helped the Bears get off to a really good start here. 34 for 1 then, start of the 4th over, and Aaron's going to give us the numbers on Georgia Redmayne.
I certainly can. 4,010 career runs for the Australian with a strike rate of 107.85. So with regards to her style of batting, can certainly clear the boundary, but I imagine today will look to be the accumulator, someone who can just dig in and basically lay the concrete for the rest of the innings. Just bat around her. I think that will be the modus operandi for the Bears.
Well, Meg Austin in already, of course, and seeing the ball very well. First foot. Georgia, well, she's not wasting any time getting off the mark. She's swept that for 4.
Typical Georgia Redmayne aggression. She does love to sweep. She's got all the shots. She can play all around the ground, and that's a real statement of intent first up.
A very nice shot to get off and running.
She's played all around the world as well. She's played the CPL, the 100, obviously the Big Bash. Just take a look at that pitch, will you? That is a belter.
Yeah, they were working hard on it when we arrived this morning. One more to Georgia Redmayne, just clipping off the last bit of grass and rolling it, and it does look... I mean, we've seen it take some turn. There was a little bit of movement early doors as well, so...
It just looks pristine, doesn't it? Great T20 track by the looks of it.
We expect nothing less of Gary Barwell and his team. They've got a busy summer ahead, of course, with the Women's T20 World Cup games taking place here. Oh, and that's the outside edge of Meg Austin's bat. I don't think she's got enough of that to get it all the way to the boundary. They will, however, think about a third, but wisely they just settle for 2. And there's the first of Meg Austin's 9 lives today, maybe.
I'm just wondering, was that that goes down as a drop? I think, doesn't it?
It would have been a very, very good catch.
Yeah, it would have, but...
Oh, you're a harsh woman today. Look.
I'm a harsh woman every day.
Just watches that one this time round. Still 7 off the over so far, 41 for 1. 4th over the power play. 1 more ball to come.
And Katie Jones, a keeper today for Somerset. I probably was being a bit harsh.
Once again, it's a lovely shot. Just going to be 2. It's well fielded in the end. That completes the over. 43 for 1 then, after 4 overs. Okay, it's going to be another over from the far end. I think Griffiths is going to bowl again, maybe? No, I think we're going to see some more spin. I think spin is the answer here, aren't they?
They're also rotating their bowlers. Has anyone bowled more than 1 over yet? I don't think so.
No, they haven't. Bang on, Mel. So this will be the first time that we've actually seen a Somerset bowler have a second over. We've seen 4 separate options so far. 2 seam and 2 spin.
And it's Skelton, returning from the far end. Interesting, I was watching some of the international T20 game yesterday, and I thought maybe they perhaps bowled Lauren Bell, her 3rd over was maybe 1 too many yesterday. I think the key very often in this T20 competition, of course, this blast competition, is the rotation of these bowlers and not making sure that you don't in essence lose key overs by bowling bowlers 1 too many. I think sometimes they get used to them.
And they do. I think we might have a little issue that we've got to take care of.
Yeah, I think they're going to lose our comms for a moment, but the stream should continue visually with the pictures. So we'll be back with you in a moment or two. welcome back. 55 for 1 is the score. Artif has come to join me. Mel's nipped out after the opening stint. So Austin on to 25 off 16, batting really nicely. Meg Austin at the moment. Georgia Redmayne off to an excellent start as well, 12 off of 6 balls, so strike rate of 200 for her. Vukusic is having a second over, this time from the pavilion ends. After a very expensive opener. That's a lovely shot again from Meg Austin. She's just drifted onto the pads and she's looked for the gap. I mean, they fielded it well. She'll just get one. Probably deserved a little more for that shot, but Griffiths doing the fielding. Artif, what have you made of the first 5 overs?
It's been pretty impressive, really. The batting from the Bears. I mean, lost 1 wicket early, but other than that, there's some terrific stroke play from both these players. As you say, with Georgia Redmayne just really demonstrating her class immediately, either side of the wicket, with some terrific boundaries. And, just been really kind of impressive, the intent that the Bears have come out with, looking to go strong. I know there was the incident, the way that things sort of capitulated in that first match after the first wicket fell after a pretty bright start there as well with Abby Freeborn, and she's gone early, but they don't seem to have tempered their approach, and nor should they after just one match. This could be an exciting season for the batting of the Bears.
A better ball from Vukusic, but that's really well run too. Just dropped into the leg side by Georgia Redmayne. 1 more to the total. 57 for 1.
We were told to look out for Vukusic as well earlier by Aaron, and I can see why. She's very sort of quite a classic sort of fast bowler that sort of runs through, sort of front on fast bowler. Really sort of what would you say, like a very consistent, contained action, I would say.
Full toss this time. Austin got plenty of it, but straight to the fielder.
And got away with that one, low full toss, just as I was about to praise her. But I think she'd been playing, sort of bowling well to her field as well, with all those deep fielders in the onside, just making sure the ball is always on the stumps, angling in, cutting off that room outside the off stump. So she hasn't made things easy. I feel like may well be a big shot coming to close out this over.
Again, just can't get beyond the fielder. They'll run 1 more. Takes the score on to 58 for 1. I think Niamh Holland was just loosening up while fielding there at mid-off, and I think we may well see her. She's going to come into the attack at this point. She looks like she's directing some fielders around. So, yep, Niamh Holland's going to enter. Another one of those players that you were looking forward to seeing, Aaron.
Most definitely, yep. Coming into this game off the back of a career best 4 for 21. Also, just to run you through some of the numbers with regards to that power play, 58 for 1. That is terrific from the Bears. Last season, the average here at EdgBLASTon was 47 for 2. So, excellent start from the home side.
It is. Holland's marked her run-up out at the far end, the Birmingham end, on a glorious day in the city. Blue skies, some very light wispy cloud. There's a plane in the distance just heading off, and Niamh Holland is at her mark and ready to go first over outside of the power play. Meg Austin's on 27. First ball's on the mark, short of a length.
Yeah, just found her little area quickly, but as Aaron was saying, it's just been really, really good stuff from the Bears so far. Just that aggressive batting, especially taking advantage of the power play overs. And Georgia Redmayne just already, you can kind of see the class of the player in just a few shots. First ball, put it away for 4. Couple of balls time, put another one away. All class.
A lovely shot from Austin again. She's only going to get 1 for it this time. Fielder in the deep. Looks like Georgia Redmayne as well is kind of reading the situation as you would expect, seeing how good Meg Austin's looking and the kind of nick she's in, and just saying, well, look, you keep playing your shots and I'll tick over and hit boundaries when I can. Otherwise, let's just take the singles.
Yeah, there's a little bit of that game against Essex that'll still be at the back of their minds. I mean, I mentioned earlier in the preview that there's lots of games this season. You're going to get lots of chances. You don't have to worry or panic after one game. But any professional sports player, especially at the start of a league, that first sort of setback stays with you a little bit until you put it firmly behind you.
Short tucked around the corner. They will come back for 2 this time. It's well run by Austin and Redmayne. Redmayne's on to 15, 61 for 1.
Picked out that big boundary. One side of the ground a lot bigger than the other. Big gap between that boundary rope and the holly stand today. But the holly stand is going to be popular for different reasons today, I think. Probably because it offers the most shade here at EdgBLASTon today. I've already bumped into Carmen and Hugh a little bit earlier. Got a little bit sunburnt, the pair of them. A little bit. Got to put your sunscreen on, Bears. I didn't even know that bears burnt.
Pigs do, don't they?
Do pigs burn?
Yeah.
They get sunburn?
They do, yeah.
Do they have sunscreen for pigs?
Yes, they do.
Do they really?
Yes, they
Who do they test it on?
I have no idea. Cut away. And there's going to be no run. Oh, no, they missed the ball completely, I think. No run there.
They'll run there. It was just a play to backward point.
Have you not seen some of those kind of news stories in the summer?
Oh, about pigs getting sunburnt. Missed those.
No, they're literally, that's the whole thing. They're slathering suntan lotion on the pigs to keep them safe.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's an industry I don't think that's been fully taken advantage of yet.
Every day's a school day for you, Artie. You've learned something new today.
It really is.
Also, a lovely shot from Georgia Redmayne. It's only going to be worth 1. I mean, they've hit some beautiful shots, both of these two. The sound of the ball coming off the bat. They're only picking up singles for them, though, at this moment in time, but the Bears have made such a good start. I don't think that's causing him too many concerns at this stage.
No, it's as you say, they've been striking the ball really well so far. Just been a little bit unlucky at times, picking out fielders, as you say, and not always taking advantage of the full toss. But I mean, you know, taking a single off a full toss isn't the worst thing. Getting out of a full toss, as often happens, is significantly worse. And right now, Meg Austin and Georgia Redmayne just looking very, very promising for the Bears. They'll already be eyeing up big totals. Already had a significantly better power play score, as Aaron was telling us, than is the average here at EdgBLASTon in the women's T20 Blast. So, you know, we might be getting an above average total. You'd certainly hope so at this point. And I believe we're getting a change in bowling.
We are. Harris is coming on. Looks like we're going more spin bowling, a bit of leg spin as well this time. It's a full toss, and again she's got plenty of it. She'll be annoyed that she's picked out the fielder there, Georgia Redmayne. It's just 1 to the total.
That was awful. That was a pie. That was the worst kind of loosener, and she's got away with it. She'll be grateful. I mean, with leg spinners, there's always that sort of
leggy loosener, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a leggy loosener. There's always a chance you're going to drop a little full toss in there, but there's also a chance you'll pick up a wicket off a skyer.
63 for 1 then. Meg Austin's gone down the ground. 1 bounce to the fielder, and it's well picked up this time in front of us by Niamh Holland.
Yeah, she's just annoyed with herself with that shot as well. Meg Austin, I think she was backing herself to clear that long on boundary, which I think might be I suppose mid wicket's a little bit longer, but long on, especially you know, when you're hitting from the Birmingham end, it can be quite the distance.
Well, they're all fancying a bit of this. Georgia Redmayne advancing down the wicket, and it's a misfield in the end. That's made all the difference there. I think it was a bit of a slip from the fielder, and it goes for 4. Probably shouldn't have gone for 4.
No, it was one of those weird ones where you either go for the catch or you try and protect the boundary. I think she was sort of caught in two minds a little bit as she was approaching the ball. It bounced beside her in the end, and as you say, should have done better.
Georgia Redmayne advancing down the wicket again this time to pick the gap out on this occasion. Niamh Holland doing the fielding.
Harris is taking a lot of pace off the ball now, just giving the ball a lot of air, knowing the batters are going to come after her and just backing her fielders in the deep. But Harris, I think, is trying to work out the angles at the moment to angle her way to a boundary.
2 to go in the over. And Meg Austin goes big again, straight down the ground. That's a couple of bounces. Not going to reach the rope. And, well, Niamh Holland incredibly busy. She's flitting from side to side. It's 2 more to the total for the Bears, who move on to 71. And she appears to be switching between long on and long off and doing a lot of chasing because the ball's following her every time.
That's exactly what you want on a hot day. I'll tell you what, though, what you also don't want on a hot day is to be running a lot between the wickets, as they're having to do at the moment. They're having to run their runs these two batters right now for Warwickshire.
I did suggest that was a bad idea, but Mel seemed to think it was fine.
What, running around?
Yeah,
In the heat?
I know.
No, unbelievable.
Last ball of the over then. Over number 8. One more to the total for Meg Austin, who moves on to 32. Georgia Redmayne's on 22, and the score moves on to 72 for 1 at the end of over number 8.
Yeah, well done. That's very, very good. He's scoring and he's commentating as Adam Bridge. He knows what he's doing over here.
Well,
Mel Farrell said that it's just good weather to run around in.
Which I said you don't want to be running much, and Mel was, if it was another one of those classic
Australian
Aussie
thing,
things where she just goes,
Yeah, I bet she doesn't even put sunscreen on her pigs.
No, she probably doesn't.
Right, Georgia Redmayne. She's looking in good touch. I wonder if there's a sense of frustration creeping into the batting a little bit at this point.
I think there was on that full toss. Look at that. Ooh.
Just really could have put it away anywhere she wanted.
Yeah, it was a real loosener from Harris, wasn't it? It's got a little bit more of that one. Leave Holland not quite able to cut that one off. Griffiths is back into the attack. That's a lovely shot from Meg Austin. That's an absolute beauty. That's the pick of the day for me. Absolutely stunning drive for 4.
Yeah, it was a beautiful shot. Didn't try and hit it too hard. Made sure it was in front of the fielder at extra cover, but within the angle of the fielder at mid-off inside the circle. Just picked the gap so well and really well executed. Lovely shot. All bottom hand, wasn't it?
Just trying to remember, Aaron may remember this. Did Meg get her 50 on Father's Day?
Yes, against Hampshire.
I remember her coming up and saying her dad was here watching that day, so it was a lovely day for her. It was a terrific innings that day. Wrapped on the pads, and she'd started going for maybe a leg by she thought was coming. That was a bit of swift work behind the stumps there, but she's safe in the end. 76 for 1 it remains.
Yeah.
Is that a high score, Aaron, that day? Yeah.
Yes, it was, yeah. First professional 50 as well for the Bears, so that was a really, really good moment for Meg Austin, and that was a game as well. Just terrific, wasn't it, against a very strong Hampshire team.
She could do even better today. She's looking good for it at the moment. Batting brilliantly.
36 she's on to from 26 balls. I also think she'll be thinking at this point as well, is there a moment in the innings where you kind of look up and you go, okay, today could be the day?
Yeah, I mean, she's spent, 27 deliveries out there in the middle now. I mean, it might be, again, it's T20 cricket, so a sense of frustration can creep in after a couple of dot balls, which we've just seen. But at the same time, this is an opportunity for her, especially with, as you say, Georgia Redmayne the other side, also scoring well, playing some nice shots. She's found her timing. Can she make the most of it?
Lovely shot. Well, I said the one earlier was my favourite of the day. That may have just been eclipsed, to be fair. That's an absolute scream. It's scorched across what will become a scorched EdgBLASTon this afternoon.
It certainly will. Just great connection on that off the bat of Meg Austin. She always looks good when she's driving. Slightly aerial on that occasion, but you can tell she's very pleased with that shot as well. She holds her bat. The crowd that's been growing steadily since we started, they enjoyed that one as well.
She's on to 40. So she's got half the runs the Bears have totted up so far. 80 for 1. 2 balls left in the 9th over. Now they can get 2 here. Oh no! For some reason Georgia Redmayne sent her back. Oh, and she's out. I can't believe it. Meg Austin is run out on 40. Well, it looked a really comfortable 2. She felt clearly very confident of it and turned and was on her way back, but Georgia Redmayne sent her back and she looks up skywards in frustration. Austin's run out for 40 off 29 balls.
Yeah, just that turn. There's a little... Ooh,
she's halfway down the track, isn't she?
I mean, to be fair, it's a very good throw and good pickup and all that kind of stuff, but at that point, Georgia Redmayne had committed. It's disappointing for Meg Austin. At least a half century's kind of gone begging then. She just played 2 lovely cover drives as well, so she'll be annoyed with that. But at the same time, she should be very pleased with herself because she's timing the ball well, she's batting really well, and she's delivered a good start here for the Bears.
Yeah, she's gone for 41. Did you think there were 2 there? I know I called it quite early, but...
I don't know. I probably wouldn't have if it was me. But I'm Captain Hindsight over it.
Amu Kumar was not in the team on Friday. She's in for Caris Paverley today, and she's coming in at number 4 for the Bears. Last ball of the over, and it's going to see a single to Georgia Redmayne, who moves on to 23. We're 9 overs deep in this game when they are 82 for 2 as things stand. And Redmayne on to 23. Do you think as well at this point, if you are Georgia Redmayne and you've seen Meg Austin going so well, and you kind of feel, I sent her back, maybe I should have sent her back sooner to type scenario, does there now an emphasis on Georgia to try and kind of make amends and really fill her boots?
I think there will be some players for sure who feel like I've got to make up for that mistake. But I imagine a player with that kind of experience, that kind of, they're probably very, very good at putting incidents like that behind them and focusing on the game ball by ball, especially with still got 8 wickets in hand. It's not like you're collapsing or anything like that, not just yet. So I think she'll be able to focus, take it ball by ball.
You're in a scenario where they've probably never batted together before, have they? Oh, that's an absolute stinker of a ball from Barnes, and that's been hammered for 4. I would have thought that's a no ball. Yes, above shoulder height. Brilliantly dealt with by Georgia Redmayne, but she's going to get a free hit here as well.
That was hard to hit. That's a very impressive shot in a way. Nothing elegant about it or anything out of any kind of textbook, but she managed to get almost sort of snooker cue end it over mid-off, or sort of shovel it over mid-off. It's a really bizarre kind of shot, but very effective. And now she's got the free hit, as you say.
So a ball that's already gone for 5 runs, and now a free hit for Redmayne.
The field can't change.
What can Barnes do? And Redmayne tries to make the most of it, goes scooting down, and it makes no contact, and it's a fumble by the wicketkeeper.
Yeah, you got to be careful. There's no, and she was but sort of laboured her way back into a crease as well. Just got to be a little bit careful.
Redmayne's on 27. It's a better ball from Barnes. A race through for 1, and it will bring Surin Kumar onto strike and runs wise, because we didn't see huge amounts of her last summer with the bat, did we?
We didn't, but she's had a really good start to the season in the One Day Cup, so began the campaign with back-to-back 50s, also scored a few runs against Yorkshire up in Scarborough, so excited to see what Amu's got in store for us today. She is a very entertaining batter. Imagine she'll look to take the attack to the spin almost from the get-go.
She does. Turns it round the corner immediately. It's swept away. Not sure it's going to reach the rope, so they'll just turn for a second. And I think we can exclusively reveal that Amu's going to be joining us for the men's game later up here in the studio. Yeah,
double duty today. Great to have her up here in on Bears TV in the Bear Den. So we'll see. Hopefully we can reflect on her wonderful performance later on. Yeah,
90 for 2. Sweeps again. It's a wide. It was an appeal from behind the stumps just to try and throw the umpire off, I'm fairly sure.
Yeah.
Having none of it, though.
No, he's not. 1
more to the total.
I think he's hot.
It's going to be tight. Redmayne gets back. It's probably nice, actually, if you're the umpire, being able to stretch your arms out and just feel the fresh air just breeze through you on a day like today.
You've got those full-sleeved shirts. And
why do they make them wear full sleeves?
And their cuffs are closed as well, so you don't get a breeze. Yeah. See?
Closed cuffs?
Yeah.
Why do they have closed cuffs?
It's a very formal job, isn't it? You're a cricket umpire.
I suppose they don't have to wear a jacket anymore, do they?
No, well, there you go. So exactly. Be grateful.
We have seen some advancement.
I was reading about this. The MCC's relaxed their rules for jackets for the members in the members pavilion as well.
What, so just for today?
Just for the heat wave period, yeah. So if you're going to Lords and you're lucky enough to go into the members pavilion,
you don't have to wear a tie.
You don't have to jacket. You don't have to wear a jacket. You still have to wear a tie.
You wear a
of
tie.
course. Oh, listen, come on. Let's not get carried away.
93 for 2. 1 ball remaining in the 10th over. Surin Kumar on 3, Redmayne on 29. They're accumulating runs very nicely here.
They're looking quite busy out in the middle as well, but I noticed that Amu wasn't in a rush to turn around on that occasion. Well, and after Georgia Redmayne's, she was looking for that too.
I avoided calling a 2 there because after the disaster of last time, they may have heard me, and I thought, well, we don't want that to happen. 94 then from the first 10 overs. And historically, Aaron, how does that play out, 94 off 10 overs? That's a pretty good halfway total.
It is. It's really good from the Bears, to be honest. The average first innings total here at EdgBLASTon in 2025 was 167 for 7, so they are motoring along at 9.4 runs per over. There have been 13 boundaries struck as well, so an excellent start here from the home side. It's all now just a case of continuing to build.
Seeing one of Georgia Redmayne's shots. I mean, she's hit some lovely shots and probably hasn't quite had as many rewards as she deserves. Yet she's still on 29 from 20. Neve Holland back into the attack. Second half of this Bears innings, 94 for 2.
Just every time you drive behind square, especially aerially, it's a little bit risky. It's a nice piece of fielding there. She's not shy of throwing her bat outside the off stump, is she?
Captain Luff with the stop on that occasion. Neve Holland actually only went for 4 on her first over. Back in for her second from the Birmingham end. That's down the leg side. It's going to be a wide. They're also going to run one here as well. That's one more to the total.
I enjoyed that because I think she was signalling the wide rather than running the run. Doesn't matter. I think she thought it was going to go for 5 wides and didn't realise there was a fielder at 45 inside the circle. So
Kumar's on 4, 96 for 2. It's going to be Redmayne on strike on 29, and 3 figures on the horizon for the Bears in this 11th over. Change of angle from Neve Holland. She's going to go round the wicket to Redmayne and beats her outside the off stump. Full ball, maybe a little slower.
Yeah, it's a good bit of bowling that, just getting in that sort of undrivable area, sort of a flat trajectory across the pitch, and it's already going to that sort of variation mode of the game.
It does feel like there's a really nice crowd in today. Quite a few down below us taking shelter, as you would imagine, in the stand. The Holly's starting to fill up. They've gone to the backs of it more, I think, just to get some of the shelter. There's a few hardy souls who are braving the front row and the flamethrowers.
Yeah, it's I think it's just going to get warmer as the day goes on. It's one of those where it's like warmer at 4 than it is at midday.
Is it?
Yeah. So
who needs Michael Fish? Slower ball into the pitch. Just going to be one again.
Do the kids these days know who Michael Fish is?
Probably not, but I think our YouTube stream covers all ages. So
yeah, fair enough.
Do kids these days care about the weather? They just look at their phones, don't they?
Well, no, I'm pretty sure they do. But like, they don't want their phones to get wet.
That's true.
Yeah.
There is a reason.
Yeah.
Or overheat, which is always a problem.
These days, yeah.
Bold. Excellent delivery from Neve Holland, and it accounts for Georgia Redmayne for 30. The Bears 98 for 3. Excellent response from Holland, and the dangerous Redmayne is on her way.
Yeah, she was getting a little bit frustrated there, was Georgia Redmayne. That length was really difficult to get away. She'd been bowling it outside the off stump for a while, had Holland, and then this time just angled it in towards her from wider of the crease, and it did for her. Looking for the drive was Redmayne. Ball went through her. That's the replay they're showing is of the wide right now. But that wicket should be coming up now. We take another look at it. No. That's just yeah. We'll come to it in just a second. We're just looking at a few of the other strokes that happened. But it was a really nice piece of bowling. There it is. Just from slightly wide of the crease, angles in. Redmayne looking to create a bit of room and ultimately perishes. It's disappointing for her, just as it was for Meg Austin. She's looking good.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's a really good angle to come at, isn't it? To try and attack the off stump of Georgia Redmayne, who looks frustrated, but it's 30 and a good contribution for the Bears. She's made her way off up to the dressing rooms, in use, of course, at the far end as part of the double header today. Men coming up later against Somerset once we're done with the women's game here. Right, Chloe Brewer, our good friend who spent most of last summer sat here with us due to injury. She's on strike, she's back in the team, and she's facing her first ball, And she's missed that outside the off stump. There was a cheeky little appeal, but nothing doing. And that's an excellent over from Niamh Holland. She's got the wicket of Georgia Redmayne. And 98 for 3 is the score after 11 overs.
Yeah, she's been very impressive from a Somerset perspective, but from a Bears perspective, as you say, very excited to see Chloe Brewer back out in the middle. Very much enjoyed her company last season here in the studios, offering her insights and analysis, and it's going to be great to see her out having a bit of a bat. She's got time to play with her as well, just needs to have a chat with Suren Kumar and just get themselves a little game plan for how they want to negotiate this next phase of play. Can they afford to just work it around, take the boundaries where they come, and then try and go big towards the end? Or do they want to persist with this sort of aggressive approach that the Bears have come out with today?
Plenty of batting still to come as well. Nat Rave, who had an excellent season last season as well. That's a full toss, and well, she's frustrated, Amy, with herself because she feels she should have done better. Chloe's on strike. And a tricky one for Chloe because she didn't play last season in this competition.
Nope, not at all. Missed the entirety of the competition through injury, so it is great to see her back. And similarly to what we said about Meg Austin, scored runs in the One Day Cup, hit a brilliant 50 against Yorkshire in Scarborough.
Oh, Scarborough would be nice today, wouldn't it? It's a lovely shot down the ground from Chloe, gets her off the mark.
Yeah, probably Scarbados today.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah. 100's up, and it's up, of course, in the 12th over. Got some numbers on that for us, Aaron?
I certainly do. We'll talk about that after this latest delivery, but plenty of boundaries for the Bears.
That's what we like. Suren Kumar again down the ground, and really well fielded by Harris off her own bowling. Almost diverted it onto the stumps that would have done for Chloe Brewer then, I feel. One of those rare moments. 100 for 3. Lovely use of the feet. Ooh, beautifully struck all the way for 6. It's an excellent shot from Suren Kumar. Really used her feet beautifully.
Yeah, she had to really be on her game there because there was variable levels of flight throughout this over. So she came down the track, kept her eyes on the ball all the way. It's a textbook shot, really. If you take a look at where she picks up the length very quickly, high backlift, puts the bat through it, and it travels the distance. Terrific shot, as you say.
Gave herself room to hit with a spin. Changing angle. Coming round the wicket. They're going to turn, and they will turn this into a 2. Excellent running between Chloe Brewer and Suren Kumar. How many boundaries was that in the 100 then, Aaron?
So 13 fours, and I was going to mention the fact that we hadn't seen a 6 so far, and right on cue, Suren Kumar nails one downtown.
And actually, isn't that the first boundary since the power play?
No, there's been a few.
Oh, okay. I thought there was 13 in the power play. That's what probably got me confused.
No, so there were 9 in the power play.
Oh, okay. 9 in the power play.
We've seen a smattering between the overs since, but of course that is the first 6 and also the end of the over.
It is 109 for 3. Excellent from the Bears, in a good position. And are we getting to the point where we start thinking about what's going to be a good total?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we can start thinking about that. I was going to say, by the way, the reason it felt like they didn't hit any boundaries in that because they hit so many balls to fielders on the boundary.
Yeah.
So that's probably what it was. At this point, really, with 8 overs to go, well, if you were really greedy, you'd want 10, but at the very least, you'd want 9 and over. I'd like to see 180 from here for sure. Or 170 plus would be good, but I think at 180 and you're really happy with taking advantage of this platform.
And a winning score here?
Right on cue. Was just about to provide it, Adam. So the average was 167. The average winning was 173.
Okay, interesting. Skelton on from the far end. Just going to be 1 more to the total. So Kumar on to 60.
If they were looking at a 170 total, they should be able to get there without too much trouble at this point. Still plenty of batting to come, as we say. A pretty good batting surface. And 2 batters, particularly Suren Kumar, starting to impose herself.
Chloe just trying to just dab that round the corner with a reverse. They'll get 1. Is it going to go down as a bye, or did she get some bat? Yeah, she did get some bat on it.
That's technically a drop chance.
It was, yeah. Chloe's off the mark. It's always tricky, isn't it? We talked earlier when Mel was on whether there was one that was technically a dropped catch, but I think when you're behind the stumps like that, you're going to have to take an exceptional catch. As again, it's worked into the leg side by Amu for one more, 112 for 3. And they'll step out, Aaron, won't they? With all the analysts they've got, they'll step out knowing what a winning score here is and what they're kind of aiming for.
Oh, 100%. And look, with this Warwickshire side, it is very young compared to the rest of the division.
It's up in the air from Chloe Brewer. Just going to be one more to the total, though. Safe into the outfield. And actually, you'd say, to give some credit to Somerset, they have pulled this back a little bit, haven't they? Because it was a game that was very much, an innings that was very much running away from them early doors.
Yeah, it really was, especially in the power play. 58 for 1 in that power play.
2 to come in the over, 113 for 3. That's a lovely shot from Hamu Suran Kumar again. It's just going to be worth 1, though. She picked her spot and she's chipped it into the outfield. I think she's a little bit frustrated there, to be fair. She looks annoyed that she didn't quite find the gap.
Yeah, frustrations crept into a few of the batters today.
Last ball of the over then, and Chloe Brewer's gone. She's committed herself to going forward. It's a good take by the keeper. And Chloe's on her way, and the Bears have lost a 4th wicket with the score on 114. Chloe's gone for 3. And at the end of the 13th over then, the Bears are 114 for 4. Thanks for joining us on the stream today. Don't forget to get the old thumbs up, like the stream, subscribe. Well, you know, all the things you need to do. 114 for 4. And Nat Wraith is coming to the middle. She had a really good campaign last year, didn't she, Aaron?
She did indeed. 267 runs for Nat Wraith with a decent strike rate of 132. So, again, we speak about those boundary hitters. She is certainly capable. Also, quite bottom hand dominant. So, expect to see the sweeps and the shots out towards mid-wicket.
Cut away first up. That's going to be 2 at least, you would feel. Another good shot from Amu Suran Kumar. On to 20. She seemed to enjoy batting last year with Stair Callis from memory. They put some really nice partnerships together.
Yeah, they did. At the top of the order, we saw Stair having a really big impact, but Nat often came in and sort of rescued innings and salvaged innings for the Bears. Another thick outside edge.
Well, I think Amu's playing with a very thick outside edge today because she's finding it frequently. All that's been stopped right on the boundary ropes. I thought that was going to sneak over for 4, but it hasn't. It's literally been stopped inches inside, and it's 3 for the total. It's a good piece of fielding in the end, just to deny them the boundary that I thought was coming.
Yeah, it's a really, really terrific commitment there from the fielder. They do get through for 3, though. The outside edge is proving lucrative for Suran Kumar at the moment.
Vukusic, I think, was on fielding duties on that occasion. They did take 3, though, so Nat Wraith will turn that one into the leg side, and it had to be a quick single. It was well run.
I don't think she realised it went in front of square. She was aiming to get that behind square, went in front of square, straight to the fielder and took the run on, so a bit fortunate to get through as comfortably as they did in the end.
120 for 4. Barnes with 1 for 27 so far. Midway through her 3rd over. Again, it's a nice contact from Suran Kumar, but it will just be 1 more to the total.
Curious to see if Suran Kumar can go a little bit further than Redmayne and Austin did a little bit earlier. Both got very good starts and then got bogged down by a sequence of good bowling. Can Suran Kumar go a little bit further than her teammates?
She's got herself onto 24 off 16 so far, so she's built that platform, hasn't she?
Yeah, she certainly has. She plays some very nice shots, some attacking cricket, especially to the spinners dancing down the track.
121 for 4. Not quite straight to the fielder this time, so they will turn for a second, and it was always going to be tight. A direct hit may have been interesting, but they did get back for 2. Nat Wraith had 2 to her total. She's on to 3, and after 14 overs, Artif, 123 for 4. So with 6 to go, 170, 180, it looks very much on the cards.
Yeah, it certainly does. We can have a look at some of the way those 4 wickets have gone down, because it's been quite frustrating for the batters, really. I think there were a couple of good deliveries in there as well, but not quite, like nothing that I don't know. Maybe I'm being a little bit harsh on the bowlers and what have you, but it felt like it was a sequence that got them out rather than the delivery itself, almost in every single case. Other than maybe Chloe Brewer, that was a really nice piece of bowling, really just leg spinner, getting it through a little bit quicker, watching the batter come down.
Well, we always talk about pressure building wickets, doesn't it? And they may not have applied pressure with lots of dot balls, but they certainly frustrated, I think, Georgia Redmayne in particular, and it was a very good delivery in the end, but that change of angle did the job, and there is a decent ball from Vukasic, who's back in, and Surin Kumar wasn't far away from getting an edge on that.
No, I tell you what, the Croatian, the T20 cricket might be one to keep an eye on. I mean, she's quite the talent so far, putting an impressive performance, Vukasic.
Jones is up to the stumps as well, which Aaron mentioned might happen at some point. It's a lovely shot, that, from Amu Surin Kumar. It's going all the way for 4 as well. Beautifully played, so delicate as well. And with the keeper up to the stumps as well, it's a brave shot to play. 4 more to the total.
Yeah, it's a lovely shot, and maybe it'll give a little bit of impetus. Getting that kind of boundary early on in the over as well just relaxes you to feel that frustration a little bit less as well. The Croatian international under a little bit of pressure now, going for a boundary early doors. I wonder how much. I mean, do you know much about Croatian international cricket?
Well, I was going to say to you, you seem to cover everything. So if you covered Croatia against the Czech Republic, is that not something that's come across your radar?
Oddly enough, it hasn't. Well, I know one man who can help me with some stats on Croatian cricket. Well, give us the skinny on Croatian cricket, please, Aaron.
Well, I can't give you exact stats. It doesn't go that far. However, I can tell you an interesting bit of trivia, actually. I've seen Erin's brother play cricket down in Exeter, Zach Vukasic, someone else to watch out for at Somerset.
Okay.
Vukasic, Zach Vukasic, okay. Oh, that's a lovely shot if she's got all of it. I don't think she has. She's picked out the fielder. And Surin Kumar has gone for 28 of 20 deliveries, and it's another wicket down for the Bears. 127 for 5. It's a really good catch, and Vukasic has got her first wicket of the innings. Very well taken, and 5 down then with the score 127. And they just need to be careful here, the Bears. Yeah. They're just losing a few too many wickets if that 180 target is something that's going to be reasonable.
And it's just going to require more sort of resettling again. Once again in this innings, Somerset getting the set batter out. They've managed to do that every single time a batter's looked dangerous. Meg Austin first, and then Georgia Redmayne, and now Surin Kumar, all been sent back to the dugout after very, very promising starts, but none of them able to play that telling innings for the Bears. Not just yet anyway, although Nat Wraith more than capable, as you mentioned, and she's going to have good support in the form of Mary Taylor.
Mary Taylor,
I beg your pardon. Mary Taylor.
The nightmare that we expected was going to happen, i.e. the Taylor twins playing together, has occurred, but it's Mary first.
Mary first.
Yeah.
It stumped our scoreboard as well, I think.
Yeah, we don't need that, do we?
Nope. It's got MLL Taylor on there, on the big screen.
No run off her first ball.
Wait till they're batting together. That'll be something.
Yeah. This is a good job we have numbers nowadays.
Yes, yeah, it is helpful.
Mary Taylor is number 9. That's all the clues are there. Millie wears 11. Great strike partnership they would make. Yeah. Those two are 9 and 11 together.
9 and 11, yeah.
Last ball of the over. I think you're going now. Is Mel coming in to join me after this?
I am indeed.
Turned round the corner. And that's 1 more to the total. And 128 for 5. That's a very good over from Vukasic. I think there's no two ways about that, Aaron. She's just I think, demonstrated to us why you picked her out at the start.
Oh, most definitely, and I like that change. That's good captaincy from Sophie Luff, just to bring Katie Jones up to the stumps. It allows her to just get her alignment a little bit better. So really good over that as far as, well, both Vukusic as the bowler and, of course, Somerset as the visitors are concerned. And, yeah, this should be an interesting partnership now, because we've already seen during a time at Hampshire, Mary Taylor hits the ball a long distance. So this should be quite an enterprising duo out there for Warwickshire at the minute.
And it's going to be the leggy Harris to return again. She's gone for 21 in her first 2 overs so far. So 128 for 5 to go. That figure around the 170 mark, which we know is the kind of average winning score here. Is that the average for batting first as well, isn't it? It's not even chasing.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
One more to the total. Sneaky single. Mel's back.
I'm back, yes. And I think they are going to need as many runs as they can possibly pile on in these last few overs. This track is a belter.
Yeah, it looks it, doesn't it? Making some room for herself there, Nat Wraith. And then almost muscles it into this leg side, but fairly straight. It's one more to the total. She's on to 4.
I heard you talking about Croatian cricket. And so I've actually watched the men's play in the ICC T20 World Cup.
I picked
European
the wrong one out
qualifiers.
of the two of you who watches lots of cricket. I can't believe it. It was a 50-50 shot.
Well, no, I have actually watched them. It was the men, though, of course. I think the men's and women's is a little bit different.
Harrison again. Powered into the leg side by Mary Taylor for 1.
I think that there's a lot more of a European flavour to the women's side. The men's side is kind of hilarious. It's essentially a bunch of Australian and New Zealand mates.
Full toss is still just going to be 1 more to the total.
And they get together and play for Croatia every 4 years when the qualifiers are on, or every 2 years when the qualifiers are on. But they try and contribute as much as they can.
Movement in the crease there from Mary Taylor. She moved out and then moved back in again, and I think she's going to get 2. That's an excellent piece of fielding again, just down below. That's 2 more to the total, so that completes 16 overs of this Bears innings, and they're 134 for 5. Crucial 4 overs to go then. We was talking to Artif about kind of 170, 180 being the score that they'd need here. 4 overs to go with 2 new batters. They're starting to feel like that may be a kind of the upper end of what we're hoping for.
And you've got to give some credit to Somerset, because they really have pulled this back. They were under the pump massively early on, particularly, Freeborn, Austin and Redmayne got them off to such a good start, but they've reeled things back a little bit. They've stuck at it.
They have, and Niamh Holland's been one of those reasons. She's bowled 2 overs so far, 1 for 8. And she will probably bowl over 17 and 19 here, you would feel, for Somerset, or she may potentially come on at this end and bowl the last. Again, another player you picked out as being someone who could make a difference with the ball, Aaron. She certainly has. A bit of top spinner, that one. They're going to try and come back for we're going to have another run out here. Nat Wraith's gone. Well, it's the second run out of the innings, and it's another moment where there was a feeling that 2 were on, but one of the batters has turned around and said nope when they're halfway down the crease. This time it's Mary Taylor who's sent back Nat Wraith, and it's 6 down for 135.
Yeah, really unfortunate. There was a lot of space out there, and as the ball was being hit, I was thinking, yeah, there's 2 there, there's 2 there. And I wonder if there was. It was a good throw in from the outfield, but just the lack of communication between the batters, not for the first time today. 135 for 5. It's just making it really difficult, these couple of wickets falling, that for them to get a real push on at the end that you feel they really need.
Alexa Stonehouse is to the crease, 136 for 6. They obviously complete the first run, so that was going to count. Stonehouse immediately on strike to Holland, and he's beaten outside the off stump.
Do you know what? I'm so used to the score. I immediately looked at the scoreboard because I'm so used to it being so quick here. I just look straight up, and I always expect that the scoreboard, because it is the quickest scoreboard in the country, I swear to you.
No, I thought it was 135 too. I'd already thought that, added that on, because they do move very swiftly.
It is quick.
Here's Holland again. Stonehouse drilled down the ground for 4. Lovely shot from Alexa Stonehouse. Got hold of all of that.
Well, that helps. That really helps. If she's going to bat like that, then maybe that big score is achievable.
Well, both these two at the crease now, Mary Taylor and Alexa Stonehouse, what we know is that they can hit a good ball, and they can hit a ball a long way as well, particularly Mary Taylor too, as we saw at times last season. Floaty ball from Holland, who's mixed it up, and on this occasion quite successful, because Alexa Stonehouse was a long way from making any contact with that, I think.
Yeah, she really uses her variations, rotates through them, and that one catching Stonehouse a little bit by surprise, I think.
140 for 6. 2 to go in over 17. Can't afford to lose any more wickets really if they're going to push on here. And again, it's an excellent delivery from Niamh Holland outside the off stump. That completes the over. 140 for 6 then, with 3 overs to go. And Alexa Stonehouse really frustrated. She couldn't do any more with a couple of those last deliveries. But 3 to go. It's hell for leather time really, isn't it?
Yeah, they've still got some wickets in hand. How deep does their batting go, I guess, is a big question. But just need that final little push. 135 for 5. They were, and looked like they were going, had plenty in the tank, but 140 for 6. What's the lower order got?
Well, that's the question. Into the leg side from Taylor. Again, here they're going to try and turn it into 2. Oh, hesitation once more. This time, though, they've thrown to the wrong end. If they'd gone to the bowler's end, would have sent the end of Stonehouse as well. But they'll get 2. And again, Stonehouse, Mary Taylor together. It's new partnerships. It's not batted together before. And we've seen a little bit of that today, I think.
We've seen it through the lineup as well. There have been a number of times, even if there hasn't been a run out, that there's been a mix-up.
Oh, that's a really good ball from Skelton. Jammed that one in.
Great ball. They've really tightened things up. When you think of those first few overs, they were remarkably loose. We saw lots of full tosses.
Well, that's a big shot. It's a lovely shot as well for 4. Dissects the fielders. Very nice from Mary Taylor.
Well, it was everything. She had enough power. She had the timing to be able to place it exactly where she wanted, and that was directly between those 2 fielders. Terrific shot, down on one knee. Looks good for the photos as well.
A little bit more air in that one after the original delivery that was fired in just before that. Sure, this one, no. Air again. Looks to try and repeat. A little bit straighter this time, and therefore it will be fielded nicely. Just down beneath us here. Still 2 more to the total, though. 150's up, 152 for 6. Niamh Holland has been very busy down here fielding again.
She's been busy all match, doing everything.
She's been really good, actually.
Yeah, impressive.
Taylor again into the same area.
She loves.
Yeah, Holland does field again for 1.
She loves that spot, doesn't she?
Does.
Whether it's in the air or along the ground, but runs aplenty.
Still 1 more ball to come, it would appear. Thought that was the end of the over. I think some of the fielders thought that was the end of the over too, and I think in bowl they thought that was the end of the over too. One more ball to come. And just turn round the corner by Stonehouse. And they're going to come back for 2 if they run quickly enough here, which they do, and that's very well run indeed. And that completes the over. I'm going to turn to Aaron to just give me an outline on the score, because we had the 150 come up a minute ago, and now the scoreboard has ticked backwards.
That is correct, though.
We're now correct at 151 for
151 for 6.
So that was the 150 coming up. Okay.
Okay, so it's not just me. I've been thrown a couple of times on a.
And also, can I just check on Alexa Stonehouse's score, because I'm fairly sure she hit the first or second ball for 4, but they've got her showing up as 2 runs.
Yeah, according to the official scorers as well, it is also still on 0. So we'll provide you an update if that changes.
Yeah, okay. Vukusic is back in. Oh, and that's a floaty ball, and it's a floaty ball that does the job. Unbelievable. It was in the air for an absolute age, but it's bowled Taylor, and she is gone. And it's a 7th wicket down.
We saw her bowl some quite floaty, slower balls early on. But she didn't have a line right. Well, I'll tell you what, you can't get your line much better than that, can you? That is outstanding.
Trims the bails off.
Just fooled her through the air. Took all the pace off that one.
And we'll replace Mary for a Millie. Millie Taylor on her way to the middle. And that's 7 wickets down.
So lots of runs in this pitch, but there are also opportunities for the bowlers. It's been a really entertaining innings. I think Warwickshire will be ruining the fact, or the Bears will be ruining the fact that they've given a couple away with those run-outs in particular, I think.
They have. They're in really good positions at those points too. It's another slower ball, and it almost catches Millie Taylor out as well.
First over Vukusic bowled was just quite wayward, and it was down the leg side, it was hanging out off stump, it was full tosses. And since then, since coming back in, she's just got into a bit of rhythm, I think.
I think from memory, I'll check with Aaron, but it's turned away nicely into the leg side. Lovely shot from Millie Taylor that's going all the way for 4. Didn't her first over go for 13?
17.
Oh, 17.
17. Sorry, I jumped in, Aaron.
No, it did go for 17, but it comes back to the previous point I mentioned about captaincy. If we look back on that first over, where was Katie Jones? Well behind the stumps. Since then, she's moved up, and well, the economy rate has changed drastically. I think it was a really, really good decision by both the bowler and the captain.
Oh, this looks like it could be a tight one. No, very calmly fielded in the end by Leroyd. I just thought for a moment she may have a shot at the stumps there, because that looked like a really tight single, but decided not to.
They made the decision and both went.
Yep.
And I think the issue where we've seen has been when one's decided and the other has been on a different planet.
Stonehouse has got that in the air onto the leg side and straight down the throats of the fielder. And another wicket goes. Stonehouse is on her way. I would tell you what she scored, but I'm pretty sure she hit a 4, but it's saying she's only got 2. But I think that's not correct. We'll update the score for you in a moment or two, but Alexa Stonehouse is on her way, and it's another wicket for Vukusic.
Yeah, they're
Aaron's
just
smiling because he was right. The first 3 wickets she's got now. So he's got a little smile on his face.
He'll get in trouble.
Here comes the skipper, Georgia Davis. 7 balls remaining. Well, now I think we're at the point where it's really important to see out these 7 balls and accumulate as much as they can, isn't it?
Yeah, just a few remaining. Can they push it up past that 170, maybe even get up to 175? Big ask that, but it is possible. Davis is she's no mug with the bat.
Last ball of the spell from Vukusic. She's gone slow again, and it's into the leg side just for 1.
It's almost Sam Curran-like, isn't it? Those slower, almost moon balls coming out. Yeah.
Maybe where that's come from.
It's handy when it works.
Alexis Stonehouse was out for 6 in the end, so 6 and 157 for 8. Let's have a look at the wickets that fell in over 19. I mean, that was perfection to get rid of Mary Taylor. Slower ball, I think you're right, likening it to Sam Curran. And Alexis Stonehouse trying to free her arms. Good catch taken by Griffiths. And that makes the score along to 157 for 8.
And they basically lost 3 for 20.
And Neve Holland's in, full toss, turned round the corner by Georgia Davis very nicely for 4. That's very welcome.
Certainly was. Full toss down leg side, helped on its way. And that's what you'd expect from Davis coming in with her experience and skills. She is trying to push that score up past that 170 mark.
The Black Sabbath ringing out around EdgBLASTon. What more could you want?
Warms your heart, doesn't it?
It does. 1:45 on a Sunday. Perfect. Here's Holland again, bowling the final over. Again, they've sneaked a single there. It's really well run.
It was well run, but I'm not sure about the fielding there because was everyone not in position, bowler not back? I think that should have been a wicket. But there was just a real hesitation. I'm not quite sure why, but Warwickshire, the Bears won't worry about that.
Millie Taylor then on strike. 162 for 8. Down the ground she goes. Just going to be 1, although Georgie Davis has set off at a pace not matching that of Millie. She was much quicker and thinking about a second, but I think Millie had always known that was just going to be 1 for the total.
Really have been impressed by Holland. She's worked hard in the field and she's really done a good job in slowing things down. That was a good right up in the block hole, slower Yorker. All she could do was dig it out.
It's a nice shot again from Georgia Davis. Just going to be a single though into the covers. 164 for 8. 2 balls to go.
You're recovering from that full toss first up, but generally she has been terrific. Hard to get her away. 2 more opportunities. Can they find their way up past that 170?
It's a good shot again. Is it going to quite reach the ropes? It's not. It's going to be 2 to the total.
A nice bit of teamwork out on the boundary.
Well, the good news is they've surpassed Friday's score of 164 for 8, so we're in a fairly similar situation. Essex obviously chased that down with 5 overs and 4 balls to spare on Friday down at Chelmsford.
That must have been a belter.
Sounds it, doesn't it? Last ball of the innings then, 166 for 8. And a wicket goes, 166 for 9. Then it's another one for Holland. Stumping, good work behind the stumps. That's 2 for Holland. And the Bears finish on 166 for 9. So what looked so promising, 58 of course was the score after the power play. 166 for 9. And we know, Mel, that we're around kind of par, aren't we? That's the kind of figure we're at.
Yeah, I think if I were a Bear, I might want to have a few more because it looks so good. But how well bowled was that? I think sensed the batter coming down, went wide, and just couldn't get any bat on ball. Really well bowled at the death, I thought, by Neve Holland. Just that one loose ball, but apart from that, what a terrific last over.
It was, and the Bears are done with our innings then, so 166 for 9. So Somerset Artif will look to pick up, and they'll be chasing down 167 for victory.
They certainly will, and we'll look forward to watching that all unfold. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us here on. The Bears have underachieved a little bit based on where they were. I mean, certainly the power play, they had 58 runs for 1 wicket, and then a couple of starts there for some of the players. Redmayne batted really well, and Austin was great, and so was Suren Kumar. They all sort of put in nice sort of cameos without really making it really count, taking it one step further and putting the Bears in a sort of commanding position. They're in a very good position still, but it's not quite, I don't know, it's not as emphatic as it could have been.
Well, you look at the halfway mark, they were 94 for 2. And then, so from there to finish 166 for 9, I think they probably would be a little bit disappointed that they couldn't kick on from that. They essentially lost 4 for 30 in that last little section. So they just fell away a little bit, but you do have to give a lot of credit to Somerset because they were so under the pump early on, but they found a way back in after being quite loose with the ball in those opening overs. And that is one bowler, Vukovic. I mean, you look there, she was one of the ones who took a while to find her radar early, but came back and was so much better, benefiting from Jones up at the stumps.
Yeah, there's a lot of class there for sure. Absolutely. I've really enjoyed the sort of the spirit and the politeness with which this has been done. Actually, it happened a few times during the game where batters and keepers together put the bills back on the stumps. It's very sporting. It's great. It's really good to see. As you say, some big shots, but often not going all the way, often being picked up in the field. I mean, there we saw a catch taken in the deep, but there were also loads of instances where the fielder just they timed the ball beautifully straight to the fielder in the deep. So it's been a frustrating kind of watch really for the Bears. You're absolutely right. I mean, they've been stunning in the field at Somerset, as we saw an example of there as well. Very focused, very improved. Didn't go into any kind of shells after being put under attack. And they have put. I feel like they, from their perspective, Somerset have rescued about 30 runs in this innings. Do you think that's fair?
I do. I think probably if Warwickshire look back at the innings, it'll be those run-outs, and some of them were, I guess, signs of bad communication between them.
Yeah, they've done really well, have Somerset for sure, but where they've really struggled is just getting everything getting everything going. Sorry, we're doing a little bit of multitasking over here, which I'm never good at the best of times, to be honest with you, but here we are. Right, okay, here we go. I think we're okay. Just taking a look at some more of these replays. It was a very good performance as well from Somerset. Just taking a look. That was a lovely shot. Great timing. Some of the timing. Early doors. I mean, it was Georgia Redmayne I was thinking about. She was timing the ball absolutely brilliantly. She was just getting so unlucky, picking out fielders every single time. I still think she's going to be a really good boon for this side this season as Georgia Redmayne. But now the impetus falls on the bowlers. Now, very soon, we're going to see the Bears bowlers coming out. I can see them warming up as we speak, actually. And we'll show you clips of that in just a moment after we're done looking at these replays. But they'll be feeling the pressure as well after that loss to Essex as well, Mel. They've got to come back and put in a performance and just sort of remind everybody we've got some class in that area as well.
Well, I think what they're going to have to do is just try and find the rhythm quite early, because you really don't want to risk letting them get away in the power play if you're the Bears. Because if they get a good power play underway and they're able to get on top there, then you've got the real pressure building, knowing that your own players did fall away, your own innings fell away at the start. You can't rely on Somerset to do the same. So, yeah, just be interesting to see how they come out of the gate bowling in the second innings.
You've got yourself a shirt. Look at that. Very, very good. Are you cold?
Yes, that's why I've got this on.
we've got some cold air being blown into the studio.
Just for me.
I feel good. I feel good. It's good weather. I'm really enjoying the heat, actually, and I'm enjoying this contest. I think we're going to have a game here. I don't think anybody's going to be walking this one for sure. But though it is very, very good. It's been a very good batting pitch. And again, a shout out to the great ground staff we've got here at EdgBLASTon. You know, Gary Barwell and his team working hard to make sure those pitches are rolled and used and just set up for really good cricket. We're going to get a lot of that actually this season. There's going to be a lot of cricket played here at EdgBLASTon across the competitions. But here in the Blast in particular, you know, they've not shortchanged absolutely anybody. They work hard at work right now as we speak. You can see the Bears team just getting ready, just having chats, looking quite intense at the moment. Actually, the conversation between Georgia Redmayne and just they're I think there's a little bit of disappointment there, maybe a little bit of anxiousness, edginess that creeps in when you know you've underachieved a little bit.
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's always a little bit hard to tell. It looks a belter, but we did see the bowlers were in it, even though they went for a lot early. We did see a bit of turn. We did see a bit of movement. Certainly the ball was swinging out there early in particular as well. So, yeah, I don't know. I think go out there with all positive vibes and know that you've got something on the board to defend. It's not like you're defending a low total. Yeah, it might look good, but get a couple of early wickets in particular and all of a sudden pressure right back on Somerset.
Yeah, and they've got an opportunity here, as you say, to put that pressure back on Somerset, to win a game in front of a home crowd. There's a bit of it's a different kind of motivation as well when you're in front of that home crowd and they're cheering you on, and you can really make them your 12th player, especially here at EdgBLASTon, where the atmosphere really does count for a lot. And it's
EdgBLASTon.
I beg your pardon. EdgBLASTon. The umpires are making their way out. I think the players are all huddled up and ready to go. So we're nearly ready for action here in this chase for Somerset, in this defence for the Bears. Remember, the Bears are looking for their first win this season. They've lost their first game to Essex already, so they're looking for their first win. They've got a decent total on the board. Can they defend it? That is the question. Certainly got the bowlers to do so. Some last-minute rolls still happening out there, but the umpires are out there, and they're like, "You can stop rolling now, mate. We're ready to play cricket." But the rollers are still going on the pitch as we speak, and some really lovely backdrops there, as you can see. And there's the team. They're huddled up there. A few smiles in there, but I do think there's a sense of anxiousness there. I see Abby Freeborn at the back. She's all smiles as well, but there is, for me, just a little bit of disappointment in there. They've got to keep their shoulders up and know that what they've got is still a more than decent total. It's about par for these conditions. So let's see how they get on. I'm gonna make way in just a second and let Adam Bridge back in alongside you, Melinda. But your thoughts on the body language of the Warwickshire players as they make their way out, and as do the batters now for Somerset.
Yeah, I do believe they probably think, well, we could have got a few more there, just with the way they fell away at the end, losing 4 for 30, and they were travelling so well, 58 for 1 after the 6-over mark, 94 for 2 at the halfway mark. But you think you go out there with 166 runs to defend, and it's not easy to get that many runs. So as long as they come out and they're disciplined at the start, I think that might be the key. As long as they're disciplined at the start, they'll feel like they're well and truly capable of defending this.
I'm over this side now.
No. I'm fine.
It feels very alien over here now. You're
disconcerting.
giving me the cold shoulder here.
My shoulders are warm because I've still got my little hoodie on.
Yeah, do you know, I had a hoodie last year and I'm thinking I should have gone down that route again because it's a bit nippy in here, isn't it? But there we go. Alexa Stonehouse in. Oh, it's a drop catch. It's a drop catch first ball.
Wow.
Odgers survives, put down in the gully.
Well, that was probably the other piece of the puzzle, knowing that you've got a score to defend, but what you do have to do is you've got to take your chances. First ball, perhaps not expecting it, but they've got to take those.
Millie Taylor with a drop. Stonehouse again is in on this one. Oh, it's a no ball.
Oh,
no ball.
Oh, can you believe it? Oh, my goodness. 2 balls. First one dropped, second one taken, and it's a no ball.
Yeah, Meg Austin pounched that quite comfortably.
Oh, what a let-off. This is 2 let-offs for Somerset. Oh.
Really comfortable catch for Meg Austin. It was Luff, of course, with the... Would have been out second time.
I want to know what her lotto numbers are. I tell you what.
They did run a single off the first, so Luff now on strike. That's a short ball from Stonehouse. She's fetched that from way outside off stump and above her head and gets it away to the boundary ropes for 4. So there's a bit of pace here from Alexa Stonehouse on loan from Surrey, of course, technically for the season. And she's got some whip about her.
Well, it was an unusual shot. She looked like she was trying to bat an apple down above her head off a tree. It was
one of pinatas.
Yeah, pinata, that's
there,
it. A little fiesta. Did the job, though.
Race to the ropes, didn't it? Well, obviously we're quite a way away, but I would probably say, and you may be able to back this up in terms of numbers, from or historical numbers, that Stonehouse looks the quickest bowler we've seen so far today.
I'd probably say so, to be honest, Adam. I mean, she's someone very highly touted, not only here at Warwickshire, also at Surrey, and of course, firmly on the England radar as well.
Whippy left arm action.
Oh.
That's another quick ball. There's a shout there, and they've given it as a wide.
Oh.
I think Meg Austin and Nat Rafe were really convinced she got something on that.
I'd love to see that again. Sometimes I'll call them the distraction appeals, where they kind of know it's wide, but they'll appeal to distract the umpire in the hope that they won't call it. But she is quite quick, and she is causing problems. Be hard to tell from that one.
Next ball is on the mark again, driven and well fielded this time by Phoebe Brett, who we didn't get to see bat. No run, 7 without loss. 4 balls in, and we've had plenty of drama already.
Yeah, I think that may have just flicked the pad on the way through.
I think Nat Rafe and Georgie Davies certainly heard something, didn't they? So may well have been a flick of the pad. It's 1 more to the total. 1 ball to come. It's a leg by. Score moves on to 8. Dramatic first over.
That's one way of putting it. I can't believe we've still got a ball remaining. What's going on? Too much going on.
Lively start from Alexa Stonehouse.
Do you know what, though? I mean, there are only 8 runs on the board.
I know, yeah.
When you consider you've had a wide and a no ball.
And again, cut away. That's going all the way to 4 for 4. That's a nice shot. Used the feet as well. Expensive over in the end. 12 from it from Alexa Stonehouse. Odgers on 5. Luff on 4. Anything you can light us about these Somerset openers, Aaron?
Oh, absolutely. Sophie Luff has been one of the best domestic batters, probably in the past decade, to be honest. Close to 3,000 career T20 runs, has got 10 50-plus scores in the format, and we've already seen it, just a wonderful leader, not only with regards to her captaincy, but with regards to her batting as well. And Bex Odgers, very powerful, very destructive cricketer, someone who, as you can see there, likes to score those boundaries very early doors. So this, for me, as cliche as it sounds, is a massive partnership, not only for Somerset to build off of heading into the rest of the run chase, but also for Warwickshire to try and stifle as quickly as possible.
And the problem is, they could have completely snuffed it out and got rid of both of them with the first 2 balls of the innings. That's crazy, isn't it?
It's big moments. Remember, the target is 167 for victory. Here's Mary Taylor. Strikes Luff on the pad. Big appeal. Instant shake of the head. She bowls a heavy ball, Mary Taylor, doesn't she? It's really nice first delivery on target. And they'll get through for a leg by as well. Although actually I think he's indicated it come off the bat.
Yeah, I think that the line looked pretty good for that LBW shout, and that's obviously why it wasn't given.
Second bounce through to the keeper.
Yeah, that really skidded in low. That was the opposite of a heavy ball, wasn't it?
Yeah. Compared to the first one, that just really kind of died in the surface.
Oh, that one skipped like when you're throwing stones across a lake. So a good bit of variation.
One of the hybrid services, I'm fairly sure. that will get plenty of use this summer. Another game here, of course, for the women on Wednesday. That's down the leg side. That's going to be a wide. Blaze are coming, so a local derby on Wednesday.
Yeah, I'll be back for that one.
Looking forward to it. I know Marie Kelly's in a good bit of nick this season so far, isn't she? She always scores runs when she comes back here.
Yeah, I was up there for a couple of games and she looked fantastic. But they're missing a lot of players.
They are. Yep.
With this World Cup coming.
Nicely cut away, and it's another misfield. They didn't get a single for it. But
I'm basically saying that's a good stop in the end. That got through. That was 4. She just got enough on it and also recovered quickly to prevent the single.
3 to go in this second over. 14 without loss. This is better from Mary Taylor. Lovely use of the feet that time by Odgers. Very lovely cricket shot.
Just made it look effortless at the end. It was just a little flick over mid-wicket, and that very stylish one as well. As easy as you like. They're going to have to really put behind those first 2 balls, because that would be so dispiriting watching these two getting set when you know you could have had them out.
18 without loss. Cut away, and this time through the hands of Alexa Stonehouse. She's bounced up on the edge of the surface. And 4 more to the total. 22 without loss now.
Well, 2 beautiful shots back to back, completely different. One flicked through the leg side, and then this one cut. The timing was perfect. Just gets it in between the 2 fielders, and that is a terrific couple of boundaries from Odgers.
On to 13 off 6 already. 10 from Mary Taylor's first over. Last ball coming. Again, use of the feet by Odgers before Taylor's even reached the crease. She's on the move. Gets 1 more to the total. 23 without loss after 2 overs. Stonehouse is just going to bowl the 1 over. Phoebe Brett is coming on, Aaron, at this pavilion end.
She certainly is, yeah. I must say, Phoebe Brett has got a very high ceiling in this game. Spoke to her actually ahead of the Under-19 World Cup in Malaysia. And back then, of course, she's a product of Worcestershire. She was playing predominantly on the Warwickshire Academy, but last season made her debut against Lancashire Old Trafford, took 2 quick wickets, and the thing that really stands out to me the most with Phoebe's bowling is the control. She's only a young spin bowler. She pops it on that penny piece time and time and time again. Also a good matchup this against the 2 right-handers.
Well, let's see what the left arm has got to offer. That one's a full toss that not taken advantage of by Odgers that time. There's no run.
It's an interesting decision turning to the spin. I wouldn't have been surprised to have seen Stonehouse get another over just because of the problems that she caused.
Down the ground, and a catch for Meg Austin. And Odgers has gone, and Phoebe Brett strikes with her 2nd ball. Excellent diving catch forward by Meg Austin, who's having a great game today. And finally, we see the back of Odgers.
Oh, bring on the spinner in the power play, I say.
What do we know, eh?
Wow. Well, came down the track, tried to attack. That's a great catch by Austin. Diving forward, made sure of it, and they really needed that. A couple of chances wasted, but, well, the slow bowling does a trick in the power play.
Yeah, it really was a good catch, wasn't it? It looked
Fantastic.
quite simple. Obviously, we're behind it, but I guess I could see by the way she dived forward. But
yeah,
the decent angle we saw there from side on, it's a really terrific effort from young Meg Austin.
she did so well to get herself forward enough and be able to control it, but They needed that.
It's one of those, isn't it? Sometimes when you're going forward like that, your elbows, it can sometimes just pop out when your elbows hit the ground.
Yeah, especially landing, because it was one of those ones where she was falling and landing heavily rather than sliding into it.
Excellent start from Phoebe Brett. She took 2 wickets up at Lancashire on her debut. We'll take 2 now, really, wouldn't we? Leroy, the new batsman? Or batter, should I say?
Yeah, very, very talented batter as well. Saw that on her Blast debut. 61 outs in that game against Hampshire.
Okay. Worked into the leg side for just the 1. Joined at the crease, of course, by Luff, the other batter, who's on 5 and has already, again, had 1 life in this innings. 24 for 1. 143 required.
Wouldn't they love to make up for that error now?
Attempted sweep, but that's going to be a wide. Yeah, you're always going to see how much it costs you. So at the moment, Luff has only cost 5 runs.
Odgers was the one who was looking particularly dangerous, I have to say. So great breakthrough from Brett.
Another full toss. That's going to beat the fielder. Is it going to quite get the better of Stonehouse? It is for 4. Yeah. Full toss is punished. Just found a gap, really. And Alexa Stonehouse worked really hard but couldn't quite get round.
Yeah, good commitment in the field, but there was just too much time for her to line that up. A nice little use of the wrists as well. Although there are 2 fielders out there, it couldn't have been, if it had been 1 metre either way, that ball would have been stopped before it hit the boundary. Precision placement.
Last ball of the over from Phoebe Brett. And it's going to be no run. The batter advancing down there, Luff, but deciding not to go any further. I was just looking at Phoebe Brett's hair. I have granddaughters with long hair. And my fascination is she's got 3 pigtail
plaits.
Yeah.
She does. So she's obviously got very thick hair.
Yeah, it must be to break it into 3. I'm liking that style.
Well, also, if it's 3 plaits and it's still down past her waist, she's got she could probably sit on her hair. That's long hair, that is.
So thick you can't do 1. So you actually we just do 3. Or someone's done 3, because obviously you can't. You can kind of plait your own hair if you got really long.
Oh yeah, I used to do my own braids, inside out braids, fishtails, all sorts. Yeah.
You're getting too complex.
Oh no, I used to be one of the chief hairstylers of my netball team.
Well, having 2 daughters and now granddaughters, I have to have those skills for post-bath time.
I'll teach you some.
29 for 1. Suren Kumar is into the attack. She didn't play much of last season. A-levels last year, wasn't it, from memory?
It was indeed, yep. So last season took 7 wickets with a very good economy rate, 7.77, which for the modern game is pretty good work. But as you said, Adam, only played in the 10 of the possible matches.
30 for 1. Short outside the off stump. Going to be 1. Batter's cross for a single.
A little bit dangerous to offer a short wide one up like that, especially when there's not a whole heap of pace on it. They have got protection though out sort of quite a square, I guess a deep cover point.
Yeah, there's a deep square leg as well. Now the 2 fielders who are outside, and that Wraith's chasing after that one. It's going to be 1 more to the total.
Always a challenge keeping up to the stumps.
It is 135 more required. If you just joined us, thanks for joining us on the stream. Don't forget to like and subscribe. 166 was the total posted by the Bears. 166 for 9 from their 20 overs. It's a lovely little pick-up again. Not the first time we've seen that in this innings. Luff this time joining the party with 4 more.
Yeah, it was Odgers last time he played that shot so well, and that one was almost as good. Just over-pitched and just picked up off the toes.
She made room for herself there, Luff, hadn't she? Just a little. too much onto the pad. I've just noticed the umpires, they've got these they're across their chests. I'm trying to work out what they are. They look like solar panels almost, as though they're being powered. Aaron knows the answer.
It is. It's a GoPro, so it's from
okay.
umpire cam.
Oh, okay. Can we get any of that? Can we get any footage of the umpire? Quite wide cameras as well. I was quite impressed. They're going to come back for a second here. Could be quite tight. Not far away, but it was well run in the end by the two batters. 38 for 1.
Is it also collecting data, though? Isn't there? The umpire cams, they're collecting a whole heap of data.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
I noticed there's a new edition. I just don't remember seeing them last season. So
You were too busy looking at their hairstyles.
I was, yes. It's a lovely pick up into the leg side. It's just going to fall short of the fielder who was out, which was Chloe Brewer. And it's more runs to the total. 4 gone, 39 for 1. Leroy on 3, Luff on 17. Already added 16 from 10 balls, these two. We're going to see Phoebe Brett again. Struck in her first over. Now, if you want to get involved with the poll that's currently running, you are more than welcome to do so. Download the EdgBLASTon app if you want to get involved. 39 for 1. There's a close-up of all 3 of those ponytails. Plaits, ponytails. What's the difference?
A ponytail's loose
It's
hair.
loose one, okay. Enough hairdressing tips today, I think. It's a lovely shot.
Wow.
Going to go all the way as well for 4, isn't it? Yeah, Luff striking it really nicely. She was well bigged up earlier by Aaron. Obviously, we've seen her making runs over the years, and she looks like she's got some intent here today.
Well, sometimes you see players who get a life and it frees them up. You know, she got a life on the very first ball when she was caught by Meg Austin off a no ball. And sometimes you see players go, right, well, it's just my day today, and that just frees them up to be more aggressive, take it on. And it's already starting to look like a very expensive no ball.
Richie Davis doing the fielding.
Yeah, and they put pressure on her too. Set off for the quick single. Davis, just with the little fumble, meant they got through quite comfortably.
Now, I'm not really a man who's partial to a beer, but you can see the sun out and you can see people in the box next to our commentary position with a nice cold one.
Oh, I am. I mean, I'm not I'm not a man. I'm not a man.
Oh, that's driven back hard. Evasive action. I'd love to see what the ump cam called of that one, because I think it may have been heading towards his head, to be fair. That's powerful, and that's 4 runs.
Yeah, it was a bit of an invitation ball. And Annika Leroy doesn't need much of that. There we are again. Is that another shoelace being tied?
Yeah.
What's going on with that today? Look at that. Straight down the ground. Thank you very much. It's almost the most aggressive shot you can play back over the bowler's head, isn't it? It's like, have a bit of that. It's dangerous stuff now. Oh!
Chance here. Oh, they've clattered.
Oh!
They ran into each other almost. And the Bears unable to take advantage. Calamitous running.
Well, it was all a bit comedy show, wasn't it? You had the 2 batters, you had the bowler, Brett, diving, and so they've almost collided trying to run around her, but then the throw that came in was poor, and that's a let-off. Should have been a run-out.
Oh, that's a lovely shot. Again, great use of the feet. Carved away for 4.
She keeps making them pay, brings up the 50 for Somerset.
53 for 1 now. Luff again. Well, now that drop is starting to, the no ball is starting to prove very costly. Luff on to 26 from 15.
Well, in that previous delivery, there should have been a run out as well.
Better ball from Phoebe Brett, but it's been an expensive over. Another one to the total. 54 for 1 then. 5 overs gone.
Exactly the same score, by the way, after 5 overs, as I make way for Atif, that the Bears were.
And we were very impressed by that start, so it's been good. It's been good so far from Somerset. Aaron, it's slightly alarming, but I mean, Luff 27 off 16, striking really nicely.
She certainly is, and something just to be aware of with both of these batters really is the use of the feet. The spinners have got to be so careful not to over-pitch the ball, because you're hitting it into, well, pitching it into the wheelhouse of both Luff and Leroy, both very strong down the ground, love to take the attack to spinners in particular. So, yeah, again, this is another one of those partnerships for the Bears. They've got to break it as soon as possible, as Stonehouse now comes on to bowl from the Birmingham end.
Very busy and action-packed first over from Alexa Stonehouse, and Sophie Luff decided that was going regardless. Makes no contact, almost kind of spins herself into the ground, and it's a dot ball, all in all.
It is, yeah, it's been very eventful, hasn't it, this bow play so far. And, well, they're really going after the bowlers, showing it's a really good pitch still here at Edgbaston.
It is. Lovely day, good pitch, runs to be had, and there's 4 more of them from Sophie Luff, who moves on to 31.
Yeah, she's just playing brilliantly so far. I mean, there was that one wild swing, really. But she's, other than that, played some lovely shots all around the ground, frustrating the Bears fielders. She's a really high-quality player. Just finds the boundary almost at will. And she's a problem for the Bears. They have to find a way to send her back to the dugout.
Well, they did, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, we've got to find another way.
Another way. It was a no ball from Alexa Stonehouse. Yeah. 58 for 1. Short, drilled back down the ground with absolute power from Sophie Luff. Back-to-back boundaries, 4 more. 62 for 1.
Yeah, she's just playing terrifically. There's no joy to be had for Stonehouse in this over so far. As you said, it could have been such a different story had that catch been taken first ball or the second one not been a no ball. Since then, there was that one wicket that Brett took, but other than that, it's been all Somerset so far.
You feel for Alexa Stonehouse, actually, because you can see her walking back to her mark, head bowed, disgruntled, and yet she's in a scenario where she could have had 2 wickets with her first 2 balls of the innings.
Now she has to watch that same batter pound the ball all round the ground.
35 off 19 for Luff. Cut away outside the off stump. Excellent piece of fielding. That's beautifully done by Georgia Redmayne.
That's a really crucial bit of fielding there, really. It might not look much like, okay, she saved a boundary, she saved a couple of runs, but it's the kind of moment that can lift your team, particularly in the field when you're up against it. The opposition are coming at you hard. They're smashing the ball to the boundary almost at will. Just one little moment like that can lift your team, change the momentum. That could prove to be valuable from Georgia Redmayne. More than just a regulation stop.
Yeah. Really great atmosphere inside Edgbaston today. Sun's out, blue skies. Men's game coming up this afternoon as well, of course, as that's turned into the leg side for 1. If you are nearby or you can travel, get yourself down here. We love having you on the stream, but get yourself down here anyway for a great afternoon's cricket.
Do both. Just come down to the ground and stick the stream on. We've got great Wi-Fi here at the stadium. It's free Wi-Fi here at Edgbaston. It's really good. Good chance to check your email as well in between overs if you want.
On a Sunday?
You might get email. It's a gig economy, mate.
64 for 1. 1 more ball to come in the power play. Luff is on strike. Stonehouse the bowler. Down the ground, 4 more. Excellent from Sophie Luff. And that completes the power play. 68 for 1. So 10 runs higher than what the Bears put together, Aaron.
It is indeed, yep. Additional boundaries, and the big thing which really stands out for me is the lack of dot balls being bowled here by the Bears. Just 8 in the power play so far, so that has been a bit of an issue for the home side, as we just see some of the replays here, the highlights of the power play. And of course there was that stat from last season. 5 of the teams who outscored the opposition in the power play went on to win the matches. So 5 out of 7. It's a pretty high percentage. The Bears definitely need to get some wickets and get them quickly here.
99 required from the last 14 overs. So again, the run rate not horrendous. As we see some of the big hitting, particularly from Sophie Luff. She's found the boundary with absolute ease during that power play.
She strikes the ball so hard as well. This is one of the features of her batting.
Changing the bowling, and Millie Taylor is on from this pavilion end.
It's a good chance this to just slow things down a little bit. It worked for Somerset as well in their innings, just slowing things down, throwing the ball up, putting the impetus on the batters to force the pace.
Looked to use her feet and then just rocked back and waited and cuts it away towards the boundary rope. Phoebe Brett's getting after it, and well, they're here for a third. I think the third was already completed by Sophie Luff while Leroy was still completing the second.
Yeah. It's very keen between the wickets as Sophie Luff. It's a good chase that actually in the end from Phoebe Brett as well. It's one of those that sort of goes further away from you than you think.
Luff's on 40 and looking to try and hit Millie Taylor again, and finds the boundary for 4. Well, mid-wicket very busy throughout the Bears innings, and it's busy already here for Somerset.
Gosh, such a good shot that, because it wasn't a particularly bad ball, just a little bit of extra flight on it down the track, picks the pitch of the ball perfectly, and then the placement, as you say, between that mid-wicket and long-on fielder, spot on.
To the leg side again, just for a single. They look like they're being really aggressive and desperately trying to, in essence, knock the Bears off their line, aren't they? They're trying to get on top of the bowler very early, which is then obviously forcing Georgie Davis into making changes, making different decisions. It's good aggressive stuff from Somerset.
It certainly is. It's a nice adjustment that. I mean, it might look like it was a low full toss, but just saw the batter coming down the track and just flattened the trajectory of her delivery on that occasion to Taylor. She's going to need to employ all of her tricks here to slow down this Somerset attack.
One more ball to come in over number 7. 77 for 1. Again, aggression from Luff. All the way for 4. She hits Millie Taylor over the top. 13 off the over. Luff is on to 49. And Somerset, after 7 overs, are 81 for 1. Lovely shot from Sophie Luff. Just shy of her 50 now. Here comes the captain, Georgie Davis, into the action. 86 more required to win here for Somerset. It's well met by Leroy, just 1 more to the total.
She's having to mix up her bowlers here as well, Georgia Davis. We saw in the previous game as well, she was kind of going from one to the other, trying to find something to help unsettle the opposition, but no such luck yet. 7 bowlers used in that last innings by the Bears against Essex in their first game, and they've already used 5 so far. Is that right, Aaron? Yeah, 5 bowlers used so far.
Before this over.
Before this
Davis
over.
is now the 6th.
Sixth bowler being used in 8 overs.
Luff down the ground, and that's well fielded by Georgie Davis. I think she saw her coming. Just adapted her delivery. And then pulls off an excellent stop, leading by example. Same again, just cramping Sophie Luff, who's desperately trying to use her feet and desperately searching for that single to bring up her 50.
Just preempting her shot a little bit, just telegraphing. She knows she's going to come down the track. Allows her to adjust her length.
There's the sweep, and there's the single for Sophie Luff, who brings up her 50, Aaron.
She certainly does. From 27 deliveries, it's included 10 fours as well, and just a really nice piece of history here for Sophie Luff. Of course, it's not the first ever 50 by a Somerset batter against Warwickshire, but it is in the T20 Blast in the professional era, so brilliant to see, and how fitting it is as well that it's the Somerset captain who brings it up.
Turned into the leg side. That's going to go all the way for 4 as well. Leroy with an excellent shot. On to 18. 87 for 1.
Yeah, it's a lovely shot, that as well. And just a little addendum to what Aaron was saying. It was the Somerset captain who did it off the bowling of the Warwickshire captain, which is, if you like that kind of thing, you might enjoy that. But it was a terrific shot that, as you say, just placed it. Her placement has been remarkable from both these batters.
Oh, that's going all the way for 4 as well. Another excellent shot. Leroy getting in on the fun as well now.
That's a really nice shot, as you say. There's no respite at the moment from the Somerset batters, relentless in their pursuit of boundaries. And, some of the shoulders on the Bears players starting to drop. You've got to stay focused here. You've got to stay in this. It's a little bit grim at the moment, but you never know. A couple of wickets, a good over, keeping things quiet. Anything can change the game. So it's not over yet. Bears got to keep their shoulders up. Could yet turn this into a tight contest.
Well, we're going to see Mary Taylor return down this end, the pavilion end, of course. Didn't have the best of starts. Mary Taylor's first over. Slightly slower ball, full toss.
Yeah, got away with that one. Could have gone anywhere. It's been the theme of the day, really. Just for our viewers on YouTube, I've got to say, Adam Bridge alongside, and he's just pulled off some world-class multitasking. He just touched the monitor sort of somewhat sensuously to get it working again.
Took a while to find the right button.
Doesn't it always?
92 for 1. Slower ball again from Mary Taylor. It's going to be worked for 1. They're thinking about a second, and good fielding from Meg Austin, but there was always a second on there.
Yeah.
Quite comfortable. 94 for 1, and the Bears need some wickets.
They do, and they need one quickly here. Ideally the wicket of Sophie Luff, because she's doing some serious damage. First it was sort of on the in the runs department, which is still ongoing, but there's also the morale. Their shoulders are starting to drop a little bit. Got a slightly more defensive field. We've got long on in place and deep mid-wicket. Mid-off inside the circle. Will she try and go over that fielder?
Well struck, but nothing for it. Leroy has sneaked up onto 24 as well.
Yeah, it's attack from both ends at the moment.
71 partnership.
And they, as we said, they batted really well, just really astute batting. And it's the kind of approach that can really sort of flatten the opposition's morale.
Certainly in the Bears innings, there was a bit of movement early on for the pace bowlers. There was certainly some spin. I'm just not sure the Bears are getting quite as much out this surface as Somerset did either. Looks a really belting track to bat on now, doesn't it?
It does, and well, bodes well for the second game as well. A little bit later on.
3:30, yeah, just under 2 hours from now. The double header continues with the men playing Somerset, of course. And we know the pedigree of Somerset when it comes to the Vitality Blast, don't we?
Defending champions.
They are. Bears, of course, 5 quarterfinals in a row they've reached, but yet to return to finals day. 2017, the last time there was at finals day. They'll be looking to put that right. Of course, Ed Barnard will be leading the men's team from 3:30 this afternoon.
And lots of players to look forward to in that game as well. Usman Tariq, the first time at EdgBLASTon for him today.
I was going to say about you looking forward to seeing him.
I'm looking forward to seeing him. Yes, I am.
Watching him on the PSL. Yeah, you've been watching him on the PSL.
I've seen a lot of Usman
You've been
Tariq
watching a lot of the PSL,
Yeah.
haven't you? We shall be relying on your knowledge.
But there was the PSL. There's also like the World Cup where he created quite a stir.
He did.
And it was a really good get actually for the Bears this season. So looking forward to having him. Hopefully he'll pull in a bit of a crowd as well. A lot of people curious to see him. Enjoyed watching him hit the stumps against Gloucestershire just a couple of days ago with one that kept extremely low. It almost rolled that one.
He was slightly usurped by Taz on his blast.
He stole his thunder, didn't he? Yeah. 4 for Taz Ali. Looking forward to seeing him in action as well later on.
Millie Taylor's going to have a go at the other end. Her sister swaps end, and now she's going to have a go as well. 98 for 1. 69 required to win. And we're an over shy of the halfway mark. Luff is on strike. Just timed that into the gap between the two fielders. One more to the total. Luff's on 52. 99 for 1.
Yeah, it was a full toss again. So the theme of the day so far, full tosses do not get sent to the boundary anymore. It was actually not a bad option, really. Completely in control of this game, Somerset. What they don't want to do is lose a wicket.
Leroy a little frustrated with herself.
Needlessly, I would say. I think you're in a pretty...
She's on 27 off 18 balls.
In a pretty good spot, yeah.
Hard to work out what that frustration could be. That's better. She's hammered that into the leg side. Brings up the 100 in, 9.3 overs. I think we can very clearly hear the Somerset contingent applauding. One in particular who's very happy with the situation.
I hope he's been taking his B12. He was slapping his hands together hard.
One more to the total. 16.
I do like
off Millie Taylor's bowling so far. 101 for 1.
I do like this field for Millie Taylor, actually. Just giving herself a few attacking options in the circle, but all the right bits of protection in the onside.
Yeah, it's been a much better over this. I mean, look, 3 off it so far. A couple of dot balls as well.
But she's got that protection down the ground, so she knows she can't bowl anything outside off stump, essentially. Everything's got to be as straight as possible.
Good use of the feet again from Leroy. Just be 1 to the total, though. So 102 for 1 then. And we're at the halfway stage. And just remind us, Aaron, where the Bears had got to at this point.
Yeah, so at this point, Warwickshire were 94 for 2, so Somerset ahead in both runs and wickets lost. So the visitors definitely in the stronger position. Of course, the big thing for the Bears now, trying to take a couple of wickets. We all know T20 is very volatile, isn't it? 1 over can change a game incredibly quickly, but these two looking complete and utter command. And I go back to the lack of dot balls. Just 13 of those first 60 have not been scoring shots, so it's a big comparison. The Bears at that stage had 18, so it's already beginning to just teeter in the favour of Somerset.
It feels, I mean, comparison-wise, 8 runs, you know, I can live with that. It was at this point, really, from this point onward, that Somerset kind of took hold of the game, didn't they, in terms of restricting the Bears, and this is when the wickets started to fall. So the game's still very much alive, isn't it? They do need 65 more to win off of the remaining 60 deliveries. So it's just over a run a ball, which isn't too difficult, unless you start losing wickets like the Bears did.
That's true.
I'm being optimistic here, but you don't seem to be coming with me on this one.
Well, the thing is, it looks tricky. I mean, this is, again, it's been a decent sequence, this, for the Bears, the last sort of 8 deliveries between Millie Taylor and Georgia Davis, but I feel like Somerset have already done the damage at this point. They just need to do that, really. They just need to sort of knock it around 6 up, almost sort of down to a runner ball at this point already with half the innings to go, 9 wickets in hand. It's hard to see a route back here for the Bears to win this game, to be honest with you. But what you'd like to see is an uplift in their performance.
Big hit into the gap and 4 runs. Not going to be cut off. Good effort by Amu Surenkumar. But again, Sophie Luff doing the damage, almost just picking at will her spot.
Yeah, it was all wrists, wasn't it, there from Sophie Luff? If you look at that again, just a little flick of the wrist, almost sort of hockey style, just lifting the ball out towards mid-wicket. A shot of real class. She's in terrific touch.
And what was actually quite a tight over from Georgia Davis, the pressure just released by that boundary. And she's got her this time. Luff goes for 58. Tries the reverse sweep. It's been an excellent innings from Sophie Luff, but it comes to an end. The captain's gone at the hands of the captain. Davis has 1 for 15, and they're now 107 for 2.
Yeah, earlier we saw the captain bring up a 50 after bowling of the captain. Now we've seen one captain dismiss the other captain, so symmetry proving quite pleasing there. Is this just a little opening for the Bears, a little chance to just put Somerset under pressure? They'll have one new batter to look at. Sophie Luff has done a lot of damage. She'll be annoyed with herself already with that shot. It's a lapse in concentration, completely unnecessary from her perspective. But what it has done is just opened the door for the Bears to just make things a little bit uncomfortable for Somerset.
She's missed a straight one, hasn't she?
No,
I mean, that's it's a cardinal sin, really, in the grand scheme of things, missing a straight one. And when you're playing in the manner that she was, it's quite surprising. Niamh Holland is in. She's the new batter, 107 for 2. Leroyd is on 30. But this is the point, and this is where Somerset kept making inroads, wasn't it? When a new batter would come in, it was actually, we then get the next established batter out, or we continue to take wickets, which is going to be key here for the Bears. Good ball to finish the over from Georgia Davis. 1 for 15 from her 2 so far, 107 for 2. I think it was the loss of wickets late on that caught up with the Bears. So this game very much in the balance. I think Millie Taylor's going to bowl again from the far end.
I don't know if I'd say it's in the balance, mate, to be honest with you. But I understand what you're saying. The door's open. The door is ajar for the Bears. Like, they've got to try and do exactly what Somerset did, like you said. I mean, none of the Bears' batters managed to get to that half century. I think it was Meg Austin with 40 who top scored. So 41, I beg your pardon. So this is like now the Bears need to roll through the rest of the batters.
Well, it was at this stage of games last season that we saw Millie Taylor come to the fore, and I think they need her to do it again today. It was a nice delivery from Georgia Davis to remove Sophie Luff after an excellent innings. Niamh Holland has already performed admirably with the bat today for Somerset. Leroy will take the single, and Holland is on strike. What's she like with the bat in hand, Aaron?
Yeah, so last season scored 167 for Somerset, included a career best 60. That was against Hampshire at the Cooper Associates County Ground. So certainly a good option to have, coming in at number 4. And again, another player who likes to sweep, someone who would like to take the attack here to the spin of Millie Taylor.
And she does. She's swept just over the head and away to the boundary ropes. The chase was on for Phoebe Brett, but it's a nice shot from Niamh Holland to get off the mark.
Yeah, not ultra convincing. I think her heart will have been in her mouth for a second. That ball nearly just held up, but just carried with a little bit of a teeny tiny breeze, just kicked in and just took it over there to the fielder. Picks up a boundary. Nah, all these runs are dripping away. 55 left for the Bears to play with. Need to make something happen again, and happen now.
It's a very good quick single.
Excellent piece of running, wasn't it? Wasn't the shot she was looking for. Didn't get the right contact, but alive to the situation that didn't go very far. Slowly to the right of the fielder, so let's take a run, and they did.
Yeah, Abby Freeborn was on duty, but it was certainly a clever single. And having got the boundary, that's all I need to do. Milk a few more singles. 114 for 2. Leroyd on to 32.
Just got to try and squeeze in some dots here. Have the Bears take this game as deep as possible.
Sweep again from Holland. Between the two fielders, and now it's excellently fielded in the end. Phoebe Brett will sweep up the scraps after great work from Chloe Brewer.
Yeah, it's full commitment that from Chloe. Just threw herself at the ball.
We saw that in the commentary box. Full commitment last season when she was with us, but
We did.
here it's a terrific diving stop.
Brilliant. Great athleticism. And also good to see from the Bears that they're not rolling over just yet. They're not just letting this happen. They're going to try and push Somerset all the way. As we say, you take the game deep, anything could happen. If you could just squeeze it, keep distance between balls remaining and runs required. Look, right now, it's not massively in their favor. 51 needed off 48. You'd back the batting side 9 times out of 10, especially with 8 wickets in hand.
What I'm going to do is give some credit there to Chloe, because in the world of people with untucked shirts, she's tucked in, and I'm impressed. I'm impressed on a day like today.
She's tucked in, and she's made a great stop whilst remaining tucked in. Yeah,
tucked in. Yeah, absolutely.
That's hard to do.
116 for 2 as 2 men are sat here very much tucked out from the tucked in.
Yeah, shirts.
Yes.
Just in case. Yeah.
Amu Surenkumar is back into the attack. 116 for 2, so 51 more required off 8 overs. My maths tells me that's 48 deliveries. The first of which goes down and is well stopped by Meg Austin. And Alexa Stonehouse gets the big throw away. They'll get 2, 118 for 2.
That's great commitment again in the field. Just technique was excellent there. Didn't go too hard. Just made sure she was in the right position to get the stop, get her arm down exactly in time. Didn't try and fling it back or try and hold on to it. Just made sure she stopped it. Good work.
She's had a great game, has Meg Austin, and she's got more running to do here just to keep it to a single.
How many bowlers have the Bears used so far here, Aaron, in this innings?
I thought you were going to say in the campaign so far then, Artif. So far it is still the 6.
It's still the 6.
It's still the 6, yeah. Davis, the 2 Taylors, Brett Stonehouse, and of course Amu Surenkumar.
I'm trying to work out who bowled on Friday.
There's an additional bowler. Was it? I think it was Chloe Brewer.
Did Chloe have a
Yeah,
bowl on
Chloe
Friday?
bowled one over for 0 for 11, if I remember correctly. Is that right? There we go.
120 for 2. Surenkumar. Slower ball. Wide slower ball.
Yeah, it just went a little bit wrong that time.
The idea good, the execution not quite where you'd want it to be. 121 for 2, 46 more required for victory.
Yeah, it's been fun to be back here, though. Get back on Bears TV. We're going to have a great season together as a team here. We're going to have fun.
Don't we always?
We're going to drag Aaron down with us.
Slower ball again. This time the direction was a bit better. And there is no run. Abby Freeborn doing the fielding.
Have you ever won that award, the broadcaster domestic one?
No, I haven't.
You haven't?
And I know there are many distinguished people who've won that.
Yeah. Who
They
else has
clearly
won it?
ran out this year. No, it's a terrific achievement.
It really is. Yeah.
When I read it, I was like, whoa, that's fantastic. Oh, it's a drop catch. And it's Freeborn that's put it down. It was a difficult one. It was not dissimilar to Meg Austin's that she took early on, diving forward. But that one, I think, always tricky, always diving forward.
Oh, I feel like she'd made it there. She'd done the hard work.
And it was Leroyd as well. It would have been a big wicket to take at this point.
Could have opened up the game.
Last ball of the over, 121 for 2.
The low full toss doesn't go for a boundary.
Well, considering that drop of Sophie Luff on the opening ball of the innings, remember, that was a toughie. But that's the end of the over. 122 for 2. We always talk about cost of runs. Sophie Luff, obviously 58. It cost the Bears from when she was dropped to when she eventually was out. You just feel that was a massive opportunity there for Abby Freeborn to take that catch, wasn't it?
Yeah, at my first glance I thought it might have been dropping short or something like that, but she'd got there. She'd got into the right position, but just couldn't hold on. And it's just been one of those days for the Bears. I guess it sort of felt that way from the first 2 deliveries. When you have a drop chance and then take a wicket off a no ball, it feels like the gods are against you that day. But we'll wait and see. The game's not quite done yet.
It's not. Mary Taylor back into the attack from the Birmingham end. Slower ball to start with. That's just flicked off the legs. And they're going to come back for 2. 124 for 2. Leroyd on to 38.
And that wide shot there out towards the boundary, saw that construction work. Looking forward to having a new building joining the compound here at EdgBLASTon. New hotel coming.
Very nice.
Yeah.
The Otif Noaz Suite, has that already been named? Or?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, just like, I'll try and keep that away from some Premier League winning football manager. Do you know that story?
No.
When Pep Guardiola was denied a suite at the Utility Bowl, then called the Aegeas Bowl, by Mohammed Abbas.
Oh, okay. A bit harsh.
Well, no. I'll tell you why in a second. It's because I think Manchester City were playing Southampton, so they were staying at the Aegeas Bowl, now the Utility Bowl, the hotel on that property, and he asked for the big suite, the royal suite, whatever it is. But it's always at the time anyway, it was reserved for Hampshire's Mohammed Abbas.
Okay.
They were like, "Sorry, Pep, you're gonna have to have the second best suite."
Must be quite. Could you imagine literally sleeping where you work all the time as well?
I can, yeah. It's great fun.
No, I don't know.
I did it during COVID.
Well, yeah, but I'd have thought Mohammed Abbas would probably. There must be many lovely hotels down in Hampshire, around the New Forest or somewhere like that.
I want to know.
No?
No, I'm kidding. I kid. But it's listen, it's a great spot. Like, it's really like, I think for cricket fans, the idea of staying at a hotel in a cricket stadium is quite something. But I take your point. Maybe for cricket players, it might not have the same appeal.
Well, no, and listen, I've the old where was it, Upton Bar? You could stay.
No.
There was a chance to stay there and wake up and look out, and there was the pitch.
Do they not let you do that? The London Stadium.
Well, you'd be too far away. You wouldn't see anything. Would you, probably? I know people stay at Coventry as well, because Coventry there's got.
Oh
a
yeah,
hotel
they have a hotel there as well.
Now Premier League Coventry, of course.
Yes, congratulations.
Anyway, we're not talking
Coventry.
about football today. We're taking my mind off football today.
Oh yes, of course.
We're
I
all
beg
about cricket today.
I beg your pardon. Yes, we are.
Focus.
Can we get a tight game here? A wicket.
Oh, that's not far away, is it? The slower ball from Mary Taylor may well go all the way to the ropes here, and indeed it does. And it's gone down as 4 wides.
Yeah, takes a bit of the jeopardy out of the game. That the game, home crowd looking a little bit deflated as well now.
132 for 2, so just 35 more required. And again, as we saw with Essex on Friday night, they're kind of cantering to a chase here. Not quite all clicking into place yet for the Bears.
Yeah, certainly not with the ball.
Last ball of the over from Mary Taylor then. This one a bit quicker, drilled out and through the hands of Stonehouse. Sorry, not Stonehouse. She's taken the sting off it. Stonehouse does the picking up at the end. It was through the hands of Georgia Redmayne. One more to the total. 133 for 2 as things stand then. 6 overs to go then. 34 more required. So we have reached that point where it's less than a run.
Yeah, 34 of 36. You'd say it's sort of a matter of time now. It would be nice from a Bears perspective just to see a couple of wickets, just a few moments. People, you always hear sort of sports people talk about taking the positives after games like that. In this fielding performance, there really haven't been any, so they need to create a couple of moments so they've got some momentum to take into that game back here on Wednesday. So it's thus far been a little bit disappointing, really, from the Bears.
133 for 2, 34 more required then. 6 overs remaining. Niamh Holland is on strike, and that struck the pad, and they'll get through, and it will be one more to the total, but not as a leg by. So,
interesting.
Thought of the umpire clearing some bat on that.
Interesting. My initial thought was it was outside the line of off stump, but I mean, yes, the umpire's got other ideas. I'm not going to argue with a man who's wearing long sleeves in these conditions.
That's a terrific shot straight to Stonehouse, who fields excellently, but that was powered by Leroy.
It might have been the best connection of the day, and she picked out the fielder a deep backward square leg.
135 for 2. Certainly Georgie Davis has put the brakes on a little bit here. Carved away into the offside. It's going to get the better of Chloe Brewer this time, and crosses the ropes for 4. 139 for 2.
Yeah, it's been really good batting, really, from Somerset all the way through. Leroy has been looking excellent, just played her part brilliantly, not overdone it, but Holland has now come in and started playing some shots. And, perhaps Somerset eyeing up a win with a larger margin here. It never hurts to help the old net run rate.
Down the ground again, up in the air. It's not been caught quite as sweetly this time, and Chloe Brewer will come in and field. 140 for 2.
Been seeing this a lot more today from some of the players, just miss-hitting and then smacking themselves on the pad with their bat. I should have hit that out of Birmingham.
Good use of the feet from Leroy, who's on to 42. A sign as well that the wicket's good, and they know how good it is, so they're actually quite frustrated with themselves for not kind of making the most of it every time.
Yeah, shout out to Gary Barwell and his staff. They've done a great job yet again. I feel like I say that a lot, but he does a great job with his team.
Last ball of the over. Attempted sweep from Holland gets nothing. 141 for 2 then. 26 required. 5 overs remaining. Artif will be back at the end, of course, to wrap things up for us. We await the return of Melf to finish this game off today. It's 5 overs, so 30 deliveries, 26 required. Phoebe Brett, I think, is going to have a bowl from the far end, and full credit to you, Mel, who did say you thought they needed as many runs as they could because it was such a good wicket. I think that's certainly turned out to be the case, hasn't it?
I don't think I need much credit for that. You just have to look at that beautiful carpet, strip of carpet. You'd have that as the runner in your hallway, wouldn't you? Yeah, it was a subpar total, I think.
Slightly short from Phoebe Brett, and just rocking onto the back foot there, Leroy, for another single, 43. And I think Leroy's done the clever thing here. The moment Sophie left that, she's just kind of gone, well, actually, yes, I'm the senior partner, but we're just going to tick this round because we didn't need to do anything silly.
We spoke about the experience that the Australians have got, and along with Georgia Redmayne, we see that with Annika Leroy as well.
A wicket for Phoebe Brett, her second of the innings. She gets Niamh Holland for 16. Well, it's cricket. You just never know. That's 3 down. 25 more required to win.
Yeah, nice reward for Phoebe Brett, who is kind of impressed me a bit today, even when she bowled early on as well. Just lost her balance, really, in going down for that shot. Beaten in the end. So a little window, but one suspects that the horse is well and truly bolted, and I just feel that Warwickshire are going to look back on this game and see it as a match of lost opportunities. How different things might have been when you think the first 2 balls of this innings, they should have had a wicket in both of those. removed both the overs. I guess if you look at it as sliding doors, if the first ball had been a wicket, then Sophie Luff wouldn't have been on strike for the second ball, which could also have been a wicket. So you don't really know, but they had 2 opportunities in their first 2 balls, and if even one of those had gone then, it just changes the whole feel of the innings at the top.
Griffiths, the new batter. The middle order, you said to me, can be a little bit flaky, but it's too late to be flaky, I think, isn't it?
Well, at this stage, it's just about playing the situation, isn't it? But I'll tell you something about Alex Griffiths. After that goes down to wide long on for a single. Loves a reverse. It's something we haven't actually touched upon really today, but when it comes to field placement, you do want to see that third fielder just patrolling inside the circle. Maybe pull them a little bit finer against Griffiths.
Brett in again. Cut away by Leroy. That's an excellent shot. Annika Leroy up onto 47. Off of 40 balls. Perfectly timed innings this to probably see Somerset home.
Yeah, just rocked back. Classy shot. But it's just been the now. She's been very no-nonsense in the way she's gone about this innings. It's been very much a case of get the job done. She doesn't look at all flustered, does she? Calm as you like as she approaches a 50. I don't think it's the milestone that's the forefront of her mind. It's just getting her team over the line.
No, she was obviously dropped by Abby Freeborn as well, so it's not been a good day in the field for the Bears, for sure. Last ball of Phoebe Brett's third over. Just pulled away. It's a lovely shot from Leroy to bring up the 50. 41 balls onto 51, and Aaron, I think she's hit a fair share of boundaries as well.
She has, just the 5. It's been a really measured knock from the Australian today, and what a start this is to life in the Vitality Blast. Back-to-back 50s, an unbeaten 61 in that incredible tie against Hampshire, and looking very well set here to take Somerset to their first victory of the campaign. Let's see if she carries her bat. I think she's more than deserved the opportunity to today. And as we said, I mean, the real big thing for me is her play of spin. There's been a real variety. She's rocked onto the back foot, played the pull shot nicely. She's advanced down the track, pushed it down the ground or hit it over the bowler's head. What a signing she seems to be for the West Country outfit.
151 for 3 then. 51 for Leroy. Griffiths is on 1, and Millie Taylor is going to return to the attack at this pavilion end.
I was just thinking, Aaron, you're gonna have all the cricket pedants out carrying her bat. Yeah, she's not carrying a bat. She can't come in at first drop and carry a bat. I can just say that to him because he's an award-winning broadcaster.
Yeah, he is an award-winning broadcaster.
So it's the only way to kind of bring him back down to earth. Make sure his ego doesn't get out of control.
152 for 3. It's a lovely sweep again from Leroy. Picks out the fielder this time. 1 more to the total. Leroy on to 52 from 43 balls.
We were talking earlier about the impact of these Australian players coming over in this tournament when so many of the big England stars and Australian stars as well will be playing in the T20 World Cup. And I think we've really seen from Leroy just how important and how significant it can be to have a wise head, an experienced cricketer out there leading the way.
She's just used her feet so well today.
There's been, I think as you said, nothing particularly extravagant, or as Aaron said, our award-winning broadcaster, just she just has done whatever she's needed to do. She put away the bad balls. She's played some really nice shots when she's been able to use her feet or rock back, forward or back. She's just as good. It's been really impressive. 155 for 3. It is now Somerset needing just 12 to win.
They do. Our attention turns to thoughts about player of the match for the Bears, obviously. Meg Austin probably one of the key candidates. Georgia Redmayne with runs 2. Phoebe Brett's done well with the ball. The EdgBLASTon app is your place to vote for the player of the match. That's pulled away very nicely for 4 by Leroyd. Georgia Davis just dropping in length, and Leroyd is onto it as she has been throughout this innings. Just 8 more required for victory then for Somerset.
Yeah, they're coming home with a wet sail at the moment. Shot I love when you see them plant their feet wide, go back and just pull the ball with such disdain.
You're kind of creating your own length, aren't you? It's when you rock back in that manner, and that's the thing that's impressed me really about her and about Sophie Luff as well. They've just used their feet so well today. They've knocked bowlers off their line, their length, by being quite aggressive, and I think it's paid dividends. That's a lovely shot from Griffiths as well for 4, and this is becoming a procession for Somerset. 3 more required to win then, and we've still got 2.5 overs of cricket remaining.
Lovely shot again. This time just flying that one through the covers.
And there we are talking about foot movement.
Yeah, that was none at all. But
it just shows you know, there's so many ways to play this game, aren't there? Having that rock solid foundation and the wrist and the power in the arms, or you can use your feet to manipulate, and I think that's why it's so joyful. There are just so many ways to play. 3 more to win and make that 2.
Well, Leroyd in particular, she's just owned the crease. She's owned every bit of it while she's been out there. Whether it is playing forward or back, creating room for herself, skipping down the pitch. Been really, really good innings from her. She looks in top nick.
Swept for 1. It means we will get 1 more over. It will go into the penultimate over with the scores tied at 166.
It's one of my favourite words, penultimate, but it makes me wonder why we don't call the last one the ultimate over. Why don't we ever say the ultimate over?
There's a lot of words like that, though, it kind of doesn't make sense, the makeup of them and then what follows.
So say if you can be nonchalant, but you can't be chillant.
Yes. They're very true, yeah. There's quite a few of those. Aaron's tapping his pen nonchalantly in the corner.
Unlike when he usually taps it very challengingly.
I know. He's. I think he's frustrated. I think we're all frustrated by those 2. Well, the dropped catch, the no ball, the other dropped catch. They've just not looked lively in the field. But I guess if the first ball you drop a catch, as I dropped my phone, and just to demonstrate that it's easily done.
Not show and tell.
No. Look, this is the winning moment of the game. We need to be serious.
Yeah, sorry.
Anyway, I'm guessing it's quite difficult to be buoyant in the field when, you know, the first ball's a drop catch, the second one's a catch off a no ball. It must bring you down immediately that you've stepped over the boundary rope.
And that was the key moment, those 2 deliveries for me, because it did just set the tone massively.
Mary Taylor again then. 1 required for victory, and there it is. And quite fitting as well that it's Anika Leroyd who hits the winning runs for Somerset. She finishes with a red inker, 60 not out of 49 balls. And it's a very comfortable 7-wicket win. And again, that's going to be the worry for the Bears. Essex chased it down with 7 wickets spare on Friday. And the same's happened again today. We felt they were slightly under par. That was despite some excellent batting from the likes of Meg Austin, Georgia Redmayne and Amu Suran Kumar as well. But the total of 166 for 9, not enough to bring the best out of Somerset. They controlled it very well, and some excellent run scoring, particularly from Luff. There's the dropped catch off the first ball, which proved really costly. Stonehouse was the bowler. It was a dropped catch by Millie Taylor, and then the second ball, that catch from Meg Austin, but it was a no ball, and they paid the price for it.
Yeah, really key. It's rare that you see key moments right at the start of the innings, but for me that really did set the tone, and you could almost see the players being deflated by two opportunities like that early on, and they just opened the door really for Somerset with a subpar total, you think, on the board. They had to be on it, and unfortunately they just weren't on it at the start, and they really needed to be. And it's not often that you can miss 3 chances of taking a wicket on a really good batting pitch without a high score to defend, that you can go on and win a game.
Absolutely. I think, this is the thing. If you look at the sort of statistics, they point to the fact that 164, something like that, Aaron was saying, is like the average score in T20s here for women at EdgBLASTon. But when you looked at the pitch this morning and you looked at the way it was playing, and some of the shots, even the way the Bears were playing earlier, you expected something a little bit more, and they underachieved with the bat. I think that was very, very clear that they could have got more runs than they actually did. And in the end, those 2 balls at the beginning of the innings, that was really their opening to make a difference. But Sophie Luff used her life and used it well. 58 runs is what she managed to score. Boundaries all over the ground, down the ground. That one was a powerfully struck ball. Really, really firmly struck right back past the bowler. A little bit of fortune at times as well, but you got to hand it to her for that ingenuity, that creativity of playing some of these shots. Really, really demoralizing stuff for the bowlers, and a couple of performances back to back now from the women's team in this blast that have been less than what they would have hoped for, really. Some great commitment in the field there. That was Chloe Brewer in the deep. And this was a chance for Abby Freeborn. The ball went towards her. She dove forward but almost overdived. Just got a little bit too far forward and couldn't hold on. And then there was just a procession of really sort of some exhibition stroke play from the Somerset batters. Really lovely shots. Look at this, crouched in the stance and just missed this one. This was Holland's dismissal. At that point, the damage had well and truly been done. It was really only a matter of time till the winning runs were struck for Somerset. And they managed to get over the line. A big win for Somerset here at EdgBLASTon. Just taking a look at that shot again. Got them over the line. Big, big win here for Somerset, travelling, and a good start for them. And will be a chance for retribution from the men's team at least, because they'll have another crack at the Somerset team in just over an hour's time. But just to tie a bow on this match here, Adam, I mean, for me, the big problem right now is finding some cohesiveness as a bowling unit for sure, in addition to maybe just following through a bit with the bat. I like having an aggressive approach up top. I like going after the bowlers, fantastic, but there's got to be a little bit of follow through. There's got to be a little bit better planning. How do you read it?
Yeah, I think they're looking for solutions with the ball, and that seems to be the problem. What we know is that as a unit last season, they were very competitive. They had lots of options. I think they miss Caris Pavley. I think she just offers them, with bat and ball, something again. What we saw was Millie Taylor last time was terrific. She bowled well today, I thought, without looking too threatening. And I think last season she was always threatening. They're obviously going to miss Izzy Wong, Emala. There's a whole list. It's a new group. It's a different team that they're trying to mould together. I think Alexa Stonehouse showed today that she's got some real pace, and in the absence of Izzy, she's going to be quite key. And actually, if things had been different, I don't want to keep harping on about it, but that first over, her confidence, the team's confidence, it just makes such a difference.
Yeah, it really does. I was just going to say, there's moments that we can reflect on, but ultimately it's 2 games. They've got so many more to play, including a chance to bounce back on Wednesday as well. So it's not panic stations. There's lots to reflect on, there's lots to improve on, but it's not panic stations just yet.
There's a lot of work for them to do, and you're right, it is a very new team trying to work it out, but they look like they're short on confidence to me, and it's one of those snowball effects. If you're a little bit short on confidence when you lose a bunch of wickets, those run-outs I think were also key. I go back to a couple of those run-outs, and their running between the wickets wasn't always convincing. That happens, then those first 2 balls happen, and all of a sudden it's like everything's getting on top of you. And so they've got to find a way to turn that confidence around. I think some of that will come from being sharper in the field, better communication as they get to know each other's games when it comes to running between the wickets, and working out what their best bowling attack is at certain periods of the game. And I think you're right, like Stonehouse, flip it around, okay, those first two balls, they were missed opportunities, but there were also 2 opportunities that she created. So there is something there, and I do like the way that she bowled up top. So there's plenty to work on, and you look at the way that their power play went, they were great out of the gate. So there are elements there. It's just not cohesive yet, and that's a sign of a team that's not really perhaps gelled together yet. So some work for them all to do.
Yeah, just like you say, when you look at the positives, you look at what Meg Austin did today, you look at what Abby Freeborn did on Friday, you're missing Davina Perrin. There are positives to take, and the run-outs, I think actually you're right, in terms of confidence, but you're talking about players who've not probably batted before together. Georgie Red made his batting with Meg probably for the first time. We saw last season, Davina and Abby, and also Davina and Meg had an understanding that some of them had played together for years, as Chloe would tell us. They knew when to run and when not to run, because they had that natural telepathy, and just from time spent together. Anyone who's now running with Georgia, for them, it's a new combination. It's a new understanding that they need to get to. And a lot of them are young. We're talking about really young cricketers here, aren't we?
And they will have another chance. Of course, there will. Many other